It's Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, January 28th. Folks, we are only 11 months away, less than, from Christmas.
Yay, Christmas.
Yeah.
I love Christmas.
We were just there. We'll be there again soon. Mark my words. With that being said, we're going to talk a little bit with Jim Carafano in about 15 minutes from now, probably less than, about an array of things. But specifically, now I know a lot of you listening right now haven't cleared your schedule in the morning to listen to Secretary of State Marco Rubio do what Secretary of State Marco Rubio does in his hearing in front of the Foreign Relations Senate Committee. But, oh my gosh, it's just absolutely an amazing display of how it's supposed to be done. There is something so disarming about Marco Rubio, which is wild considering he's the Secretary of State. So I told the story just the other day, was it yesterday, about Marco Rubio discussing, do we have that clip? Or no, wait. So we have Marco Rubio who said in a interview, I think it was with the New Yorker, and he was talking about being on Air Force One, and he was talking about how President Trump just doesn't sleep. It's amazing to see how with it Donald Trump is everywhere he goes. Now, I know that there are people on the left who don't think he's with it at all. There are people on the left who think that Donald Trump is bumbling, and they're concerned about his mental acuity. I don't take you people seriously. You don't take you seriously, so how would I even bother with it? However, you have President Trump who goes from place to place to place to place, and in the midst of all of these different town halls or press conferences under the helicopter, he doesn't just go straight to the helicopter. He doesn't do the old man shuffle just to Marine One and get on and fly away to Camp David for a third or half of his presidency. He stops and he talks to the press every single chance he gets. And Trump is able to just say, hit me with it. Give me the questions that you have. You want to know something about tariffs? Let's talk about tariffs. You want to know about Venezuela? Let's talk about Venezuela. You want to talk about Minneapolis? Let's talk about Minneapolis. He can answer any questions that are thrown at him at any time with confidence and with details, with statistical numbers. It's incredible. When you watch the people who surround Donald Trump do their business, it's no wonder why he's able to do what he does, because they're taking on so much, but at the same time that they're taking on so much, he has so many competent people in high places in his administration doing the work that people elected Donald Trump to do. And Marco Rubio is that guy on multiple fronts. National Security Council advisor, isn't that what he is?
The multiple job
Secretary
titles that he
of
has.
State. He's in charge of the National Archives. I mean, this man is everywhere that President Trump needs him to be. The memes that are online as to what Marco Rubio's next job is going to be like, they have him in a snowsuit, out blowing snow off the White House lawn and everything, over and over and over again. Marco Rubio is the guy, and he just handles his job with ease.
There's a lot of people, but one guy who is not here is your Secretary of State, and I'm afraid he made a very big mistake. He gave an interview where he said that one of his tricks with you is on Air Force One. Marco Rubio goes into a room and covers himself up with blankets so that you won't see him sleeping, that you'll think it's a staffer. And so I think there's only one of two ways you go with this. You give him yet another
And we're buffering. This is the time every day where the
job.
There we go.
Or you pull the blankets back.
That's what he wants. Let me tell you, he's doing a fantastic job. But he's a tough cookie.
So President Trump complimenting him, listening to that story. I wondered if he had heard that story before then. But the idea that President Trump is moving so quickly that there you have Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, National Security Advisor, whatever it might be, all of these different things. You have him going everywhere, doing all the things, and Donald Trump is still outrunning him. It's really something incredible. It's really wild to take in. So Marco Rubio was in front of the Senate here today in this hearing, and when you listen to Marco Rubio answer these questions, he's so smart. And he's not combative. You know, these types of things become very annoying to watch because it looks just like a political grandstand. Everyone's trying to create their next campaign commercial. Everyone is trying to, get their opportunity to dunk. They don't even ask questions. They just throw out an enormous amount of ridiculous statements. And then the person who is there for the hearing, the witness, they try to correct the situation. They're like, I reclaim my time. It's like, okay, of course you do. Listen to this question posed to Secretary Rubio from Senator Schatz from Hawaii. Remember, we just learned that guy's name just the other day. Listen to this.
I'm just going to move on to a couple of other issues. Your comments that Havana should be concerned about the Maduro operation is fueling speculation that this administration will turn its sights to Cuba next. Will you make a public commitment today to rule out U.S. regime change in Cuba?
Regime change?
Yes.
Oh, no, I think we would love to see the regime there change. We would like to, that doesn't mean that we're going to make it change, but we would love to see it change. There's no doubt about the fact that it would be of great benefit to the United States if Cuba was no longer governed by an autocratic regime.
But you know what we mean by regime change. We don't mean, I wish someone else were in charge. When we talk about regime change, we're talking about using the power of the United States, usually kinetic power, but often other kinds of coercion. And I'm not even saying that that's always not in our interest. I'm just saying, I'm not asking you whether we would prefer a different kind of government. I'm asking whether you are trying to precipitate the fall of the current regime.
Yeah, but that's statutory. The Helms-Burton Act, the U.S. embargo on Cuba is codified. It was codified in law, and it requires regime change in order for us to lift the embargo.
So when you watch these senators, they ask him a question, and the question is an entirely inflated political question. Would you support regime change in Cuba? And Marco Rubio, who is Cuban, is like, hell yeah!
This is such a crazy clip.
Yeah. And then the Senator Schatz there, who, by the way, I don't know, is this a common thing? Maybe this is a common thing. He's wearing a blazer over a quarter zip over a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
Is that a move?
Well, when
Is
I
that a
saw
power
it,
move?
I was like, shots, shots,
Shots. Oh. Marco Rubio's, I'm not trying to play politics because I want to take a page out of the Marco Rubio playbook, but he just looks so much, I'm going to say it this way. Here's the nice, positive way to say it. He looks so much smarter than those people who are questioning him with stupid questions.
I would replace the word looks with is.
Yeah. He just commands the room. He commands the information. And when you don't have, when you are acting and not reacting to everything, then there's a series of events that leads to your decision to take action. If you're constantly reacting and only living in these super shallow, murky, muddy, from what I understand, the Potomac River, did you see the news about that? I'll tell you in a second. If you're just, wading in these sewage-ridden political waters, it's kind of hard to keep your story straight. There's not enough depth there to make sense of it. Marco Rubio understands exactly why they've done everything that they've done, and he's there in a way that articulates it without saying, hey, dummy. Like, that's what it feels like he's trying to say, but he doesn't say it that way. He is a diplomat. And when you listen to what we've heard President Trump say about Marco Rubio, he said Marco Rubio taught me how to be a diplomat. He gave Marco Rubio credit for teaching how to engage in diplomacy. And he just recently had this conversation. He said, Marco Rubio is the one who taught me how to be a diplomat. For instance, with President Xi Jinping. President Xi didn't want Trump to call it the China virus anymore. So this is Trump's compromise. Maybe the art of the deal. He goes, Marco told me this is how you be a diplomat. You don't need to call it the China virus. We're trying to work out deals with China. This is an easy thing to give. Don't call it the China virus. So what Trump does is he keeps talking about how he's no longer going to call the China virus the China virus. So it's like, we're so close. We're getting there. Slow clap for the businessman, the New Yorker out there who's trying to be the smooth, diplomat that Marco Rubio is trying to formulate.
Wow, that's really something.
I've-
That's both of them at their best.
I've heard Donald Trump tell the story about how he's no longer going to call the China virus like a half a dozen times in different places.
That's so funny.
And it's like, oh, remember that was it an insurance? They're always insurance commercials if they're good. He's like, oh, you almost got it with the fishing pole and the dollar. Oh, you almost had it. That's kind of the way I feel about that. It's ridiculous. Well, we are continuing today our effort to try to grow the Annie Fry Show scholarship for Lutheran school. This is in the area, so all of this money, it goes to the Lutheran Elementary School Association in an endowed scholarship for the Annie Fry Show. And they're the ones who manage the money, and the money that comes in, as it is in an endowment, is going to continue to grow, but we cannot do it without your help. So here's what I'm asking you to do today. Text Annie26 to 41444. And what you are essentially doing, this is National School Choice Week, and we celebrate National Lutheran Schools Week here. If you've ever been touched or blessed by Lutheran school, if you know somebody who's been touched by parochial school, these Lutheran schools are in every different community in the bi-state region. They are not specific to one particular kind of community or another. It is a ministry. And when you make a donation to this scholarship to Lisa, you are making a donation to the Christian foundation of the future of children right here in our area. That is not to be overstated. My Lutheran education, I went to Trinity Lutheran School in Edwardsville and graduated from there in 1998, graduated from Metro East Lutheran High School in Edwardsville in 2002. I have friends who went to Lutheran North, Lutheran South, St. Charles Lutheran High School, but so many different Lutheran grade schools around here. The Lutheran Elementary School Association is working hard, very hard, to make that elementary Lutheran education available to children and grandchildren that you know and love. So if you would please join me, please support this scholarship. If you have $25 to give, we would be blessed by that. We got a $250 donation this morning by Robert. Thank you so much for that. Bill and Nancy, thank you for your donation today. The blessings are abounding, and we're trying to get to $5,000 right now, and we are at $2,497. So essentially, the next person who donates is going to get us over that $2,500 mark. We're trying to double that today. Would you please consider a donation to help us grow this scholarship? We want school choice, but we got to show up. We've got to help each other. We have to help our neighbors in order to make this an opportunity available for all kids in the St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois area. So what you can do is text Annie26 to 41444. Text Annie26 to 41444. And make your donation. Whatever you feel blessed to be able to give, do so. I will shout you out on the air if you want to leave your name. You can also go to Lisa, Lesa, stl.org/Annie to make your donation. Please join me in making this possible for kids in our area. Jim Carafano next. Don't go away.
Hey guys, I know that I'm sorry. This is loud, isn't it? Sorry. We have. They want you to blink twice if you're okay.
Me?
Yeah. He's not okay. We got a copyright strike on the channel last night from a song that played, and I tried to appeal it, and they rejected it. I'm going to try to appeal it again, maybe. But basically, we can't have the bump music playing, and the copyright strike lasts 90 days. So it's going to be a little different here for a while, but maybe I'll come talk to you guys here more often. Maybe we can have Q&A in the breaks. It's not great. It's not ideal, but here we are. So what song was it? Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand, I think. It's a good song, too. So I don't know. All right, I got to do my job. Be right back.
Speech in Davos. Here's something the president said in Davos. I'm helping NATO until the last few days. When I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They're not here for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. Our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland, so Iceland has already cost us a lot of money. President repeatedly mistook Iceland for Greenland, right? We're not mad at Iceland. They haven't cost us any money. The president just mistook the two countries for each other, correct?
Yeah, he meant to say Greenland, but I think we're all familiar with presidents that have verbal stumbles. We've had presidents like that before. Some made a lot more than this one.
Nice try. Thanks. All right.
Nice try, Senator Kaine says there. Senator Kaine's you get one opportunity to sit here with the secretary of basically everything at a hearing in the Senate, and you're like, the president said Iceland instead of Greenland. I got you now. And Rubio does the Uno reverse on him and throws it right back on him. It's like, ooh, we care about presidents making verbal slip-ups now? And then Senator Kaine goes, nice try. Okay. What a masterclass. Let's get to our guest, our friend Jim Carafano, back with us, senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back. Good to have you here.
So the reason why I'm laughing, you can't see me laughing, which is probably because it's radio, but I spent a lot of time in Australia and Canada. And frequently, when I'm talking to one or the other, I will invert them.
Oh, no.
And I'll be in Australia, and I'll say Canada, or I'll be in Canada, I'll say Australia. Just, and you know why, right? Australia, Canada, longtime allies, British origin, everything else. And so, okay, give me a break.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the best Tim Kaine has, you get 5 minutes as a senator to ask questions on the future of the country. It was a slip up. It wasn't some sign of cognitive decline. It was just a slip up, which by the way, we all do all the time.
Yes.
I want a show of hands in the audience of how many times somebody called their second wife by their first wife's name. Oh my God, look at all those hands. So look, it happens. And, it just shows how unserious that Tim Kaine was to do that, right? He wasted 5 minutes of the public's time on something that he knows is not really a thing.
Yeah, several of the senators up there, the lefties, were like, we want more hearings with you. We want more time with you. And then they get their time and they ask these questions. It's hard to take them seriously.
Yeah. And this actually was an extremely, I didn't follow the hearing. I've been reading the news accounts. This actually was an extremely important hearing because what we're doing in Venezuela and Gaza, for that matter, is kind of nearly unprecedented. Okay, it's a very, very different way of engaging with a country and guiding them on a path that's not only more constructive for its citizens, but a better ally of the U.S. And so unpacking exactly how we're going to do that and how that's working, I think is incredibly important for senators to understand. So again, wasting time talking about Iceland is, probably, although Iceland's an awesome place if you've never been there.
I have not been there. Jim Carafano speaking with us. I wanted to ask you about this hearing, but on a much higher level view, because usually what I'm steeped in is politics. By the time a story gets to me and it's in the news, it's been filtered through, whoever's writing the story, right, whoever broke the news. There's a lot of political bias that's involved in that. And then it's my job to, pull out the facts as I can see them and then formulate my own opinion. But there is a huge, huge difference, and I'm thinking you're the best person to talk about this, between politics, policy, and diplomacy. And we've heard President Trump say here recently on multiple occasions that Marco Rubio has taught him how to be a diplomat. And when I'm watching Marco Rubio in front of this panel of senators, he's so incredibly disarming with these aggressive questions. He provides thoughtful answers that even I can understand. Is Marco Rubio exceptional at his job, or is this the way it usually happens when you can pull the politics away from it a bit?
Well, as I've said before in the show, I think it's the match of a great leader and people who understand the leader's intent, what he wants to accomplish, and are able to operationalize that. So it's a great kind of match between president and secretary. Look, as well-spoken as Marco Rubio is, what is really impressive, way more than the fact that he can kind of speak English to us. He is the number of jobs he is managing and the quality of execution of policy. I mean, that's been super impressive. Is it all Marco? No, because it could not have happened without the president we have. Is it the perfect, person to execute that policy? Absolutely. Because remember, and this is very Trumpian, right? And this is the one thing you have to remember about Donald Trump. I have very difficulty explaining this to my European friends because they don't get baseball. But it's like the coach who puts a pitcher in the game. And if the pitcher is just blowing him away, he leaves him in there. And, and maybe he puts him in the batting order. But if the guy is struggling, he pulls him out and he puts another person in. And it's nothing about the person. It's about getting the right match to get the policy executed. And so when people like Marco kind of are hitting doubles and triples all day long, they get more power, more authority, more responsibility. And when people are struggling, like we just saw in Minneapolis, the president, he doesn't yell at people. He doesn't fire them. He kind of shakes the lineup up to see if he can get the right mix in there. He's been doing this on Ukraine negotiating for really since the beginning. We just saw it in Minneapolis. But when you want to look around, you have people like Rubio, John Ratcliffe, the director of the CIA, McMahon at Education, Bessent. Not that everybody isn't doing good, but these people are literally like batting 850 and really so impressive.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch. I've always been a Marco Rubio fan because I just think that his delivery is incredibly consumable on a broad range of topics with a broad range of people. You brought up what was going on in Minneapolis. I'm curious on your thoughts on the shift of philosophy there, if there even was a shift in philosophy. Do you feel like Minneapolis was getting out of hand in a way that the administration needed to reshuffle the deck?
Well, there's an old saying that, don't help your enemy, right? So the left wanted this to spin out of control. And the president, I think, has found a way to kind of diffuse somewhat the level on both sides. And I think that's, really to his credit. I don't really think it represents a change in policy. But I think, people that follow their president, the story is like, who will rid me of this priest, right? So the guys get drunk and then they go into the church and they murder the archbishop, right? And the king says, what are you guys doing here? One is you don't want to overstep, right? Which we see, cracking down and then people kind of taking that to extreme, even more than the president would do, and that's not helpful. Conversely, it's the old Democrat never let a crisis go to waste. We see the president adjusting policy, being a little more moderate in Minneapolis, and then these yahoos come out of the woodworks and say, "Oh, let's talk about amnesty." And these are Republicans, and path to citizenship and reform of ICE and stuff. Like, well, nobody asked for that either, right? So I get that. This is what I love about. Not that I'm a Republican, because I'm not, but what I love about the conservative movement, it's a pirate ship. There's lots of people on there. They have lots of different opinions. I'm all for that. They're all, most of them, not all, but are trying to support their president. But sometimes, they lean a little, too far in, or they try to hijack the agenda a little too much. this is why, truth in advertising, I love Annie Fry, because what you really try to do is not drive a narrative, but understand what's going on and explaining how it's impacting the life of everyday people. And I really appreciate that, because I think that is really what best serves the people of the United States. And honestly, I honestly believe that is what is in Donald Trump's heart of heart, that he is trying to do, is to do policies that really best serve all Americans.
I appreciate that compliment, and it's not possible. I like to ask the questions that in my mind, I'm like, this is a dumb question. It's going to make me look dumb if I ask it. But chances are a lot of people have the same types of questions. We have experts like you on to fill in those gaps. And I constantly go back in my brain to when Joe Biden won officially in 2020, and you said then that the 2024 election would be based on the immigration crisis facing our country. You were saying it week after week after week on this show about how this is going to be a growing issue. It's not going to go away. It's going to be a driving factor in choosing the next president. You were 100% spot on the entirety of the Biden administration. I'm curious if you were to have the foresight during any of those years to look ahead to January of 2026 and see Donald Trump gets reelected and has a year to implement the type of border security and deportation that he has, how would you feel about the success or the failure of this time in his second term?
Well, I mean, and this is somebody that's only been following this issue for like 25 years.
Right.
I think what he's accomplished in a year is just incredibly remarkable. But it's indicative of a guy who went away for 4 years and studied and really learned how to better drive outcomes in government, and coming back and inputting that. And I think it's going well. I will say my prediction is we are not going to see anything that looks like a discussion about larger immigration reform until post 2028. And the reason for that is what has also become incredibly clear. And, I say about this, I sound like a guy in the tinfoil hat, that people talk about this, but I actually believe it. The left is committed to this because if they compromise on this issue, they lose congressional seats, because they lose population from their states, even under the old census. We're not even talking about going to a new census where you only count citizens. They lose political power, the ability to move money around and really entrench themselves politically and monetarily in communities. And they can't afford to do that, because these are vital instruments which have maintained national political power for them. So this is not something they can give up on. So this is why I go to my friends on the right who say, "Oh, okay, somebody died. Now it's time to compromise." There is no compromise with these people. What's at stake for them is the Biden policies were essentially the political lifeline of the national democratic movement. And to compromise on that system and that infrastructure is the end of their national power. So there's no middle ground to compromise for them. Yeah. They can't compromise, because if they compromise, they're no longer a force in national politics. So this notion of, comprehensive reform, we can find a middle way. Poor people who've been here for 15 years, they're not the ones who are out. Everybody agrees that we're going to prioritize violent criminal offenders first. And honestly, there's millions of those guys, so we're not going to run out of them anytime soon. So the policies that we're doing now are exactly the right policies. It's a mistake to stop doing them. One is, if you stop doing it in a city, all they do is they take those paid protesters, that infrastructure, that money that comes, and they move it to another city, so your problem doesn't go away. Yeah. And two is, anytime you back off, that is a green light to the human traffickers hey, come on back. And so it's completely self-defeating. The deterrent value of immigration enforcement is as crucial as securing the border, period. There's no substitute for it. And so you have to secure the border, and you have to deport a lot of people who are here illegally if you want to restore credibility to the system. And you can't compromise that. If we were at the point where we had like 1 million illegal people in the country, or 2 or 3 or 4 even, and we had a census that was based on citizenship, and we were ensuring that only people who are American citizens could vote, and the border was secure, and we had reigned in the global terrorist threat, if all those things had been accomplished, sure, fine, have a discussion. But until we're there, you can't really compromise.
Yeah, that's a lot of ifs. Jim Carafano with us. Last question before we let you go. You talked about those paid protesters, and that we all love our First Amendment rights, and protesting peacefully is an incredibly important part to living in a country that is by the people for the people. But there is an element that is very, very fake and contrived and organized to instill chaos. It feels like the goal is chaos. You would think that there might be some chaos in order to pursue a resolution, right, but that's not what a lot of this is. It's very astroturf. Do you believe that this administration will be able to successfully root out the funding, the foundation of these astroturf fake protests that travel from city to city?
I think it'd be pretty easy. The data's always been there. You just have to go look for it. But, again, even if you want to say somebody's pouring millions of dollars in it, and even if it's, foreign money or whatever, as long as it is lawful protest, right? Yeah, but it's protected by the First Amendment. We take that risk in this country. What is not is organized political violence. So you are putting on people in the street to do organized political violence. That is a crime. And that is prosecutable, and that's what you have to go after. And the reality is that if they don't go after these networks and crack them, then we're just going to get after Minneapolis, we'll just get another Minneapolis.
And we got to avoid that. Well, Jim Carafano, our friend, thank you for being with us today. There's so many things that I love talking to you about, and we're grateful to be able to get to a few of them this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Real honor to be on the show.
Take care, Jim. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Jim Carafano, Senior Counselor to the President and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. You want to talk about being a man in the room all over the world? The amount of times that we've talked to him, and he's like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah,
and you never know.
He wakes up in the middle of the night to talk to us at noon sometimes.
That's legit happened. Incredible connection that we've had on 97.1 with Jim Carafano, certainly Hans von Spakovsky as well, those two individually, for such a long time. Consider it an honor to be able to have that type of access and connection. All right, let's take a break. We got a new donation from Brandon, $25 our way. We are over the $2,500 mark. I am hoping that we can get a few $100 donations in on the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. Can we get maybe 3 of them by the end of the hour? 3 $100 donations? If that is not something you can do, but you've got $25 to contribute, 50, whatever it might be, everything helps. Let's provide school choice for children in Missouri and Illinois. If you are somebody who has near and dear to your heart Lutheran education, I need you to step up and be a part of something special here with the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. All of this money goes to LISA, the Lutheran Elementary School Association, who exists to make an education in a Lutheran school available to our area families. So please join me in supporting this. I'm the mouthpiece, but this all is handled by LISA, an incredible organization. You can go to lisastl.org/Annie. That's Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie, or you can text Annie26 to 41444. That's Annie26 to 41444. Come be a part of something cool. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. These are good people. I have spent some time with the Hayes family, and they got 4 kids just like us. And I just really relate to their pace of life, but also the understanding the value of really working hard and taking a skill that you have, making it available to people, and doing it the right way. It's very, very incredibly American what Home Shield Foundation Repair is doing. Now, they're here in St. Louis. They're a locally owned business. I think that matters a lot. They're going to be straight with you when you work with Home Shield Foundation Repair. Matt Hayes is the top. He's the guy. He created this business to help you with your foundation issues, your wet basement, uneven, lopsided concrete that's now a liability or a trip hazard for you or for mom and dad at their house. And you know that mom and dad, when they go walk out on their sidewalk, you're always like, Mom, don't trip. Get that fixed so that mom doesn't trip. You can call Home Shield Foundation Repair, and they can take care of that for you. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, generally speaking, are you happy? There's a variety of options here. It's yes and conservative, no and conservative, yes and liberal, no and liberal. Those are your options for the YouTube live chat poll today.
Also, we just got another $25 donation.
Thank you. I was
Ring
heading in
that
that
bell.
direction. Oh, there we go.
You got one job here on
it's
the.
ready.
There you go. Thank you.
Donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association. It's all about Jesus. It's all about local kids. And you text Annie26 to 41444 to donate.
And in the 2:00 hour, we're going to continue our Spirit Week. And there's something going to happen in the 2:00 hour. And I know it was my idea to do it, but I haven't seen any of the materials. It's going to be wig day on the Annie Fry Show. We're going to wear wigs. And I think that Ryan, you brought in wigs and Brad brought in wigs.
Did you not? Oh, so you get to wear one
I
that
need
we
to
pick?
wear something.
Oh, great.
That's why I'm a little nervous about it.
I got a whole bunch of them.
2:00 hour. Maybe if there's a whole bunch, maybe we'll change a wig for every donation we get.
Hey,
I washed
okay
my
with that.
hair. It's clean. All right. Annie26 to 41444. Please come support this scholarship.
There you go. Or Lisa, LESASTL.org/Annie. 1242. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sorry, we were talking governors here. There's a big story coming right now developing in Georgia. Now, everybody just calm down. You too, Donald Trump.
I'm not calming down.
Just sit down. Yeah, I'm going to report on this story because Ryan won't be able to contain himself. Fox News reports FBI agents were seen Wednesday carrying out a search at an election hub in Fulton County, Georgia, a location that became ground zero for concerns and complaints about voter fraud beginning in 2020. Agents were seen entering the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center, a new facility that state officials opened in 2023 that was designed to streamline their election processes. Yeah, I'll say. Just kidding. It was not immediately clear what the FBI agents were investigating, but Fox News Digital is told the probe is related to the 2020 election. The Bureau said in a statement provided to Fox News Digital that FBI Atlanta was executing a, quote, court-authorized law enforcement action at 5600 Fairburn Road. Our investigation into this matter is ongoing, so there are no details that we can provide at this moment. Fox News goes on to report the Department of Justice did not immediately provide comment. President Donald Trump lost the election in Georgia in 2020 by a wafer-thin margin and claimed various instances of fraud had tainted the results, but those claims did not survive court scrutiny. Fulton, a suburb of Atlanta and the state's most populous county, drew the most attention. A machine count and 2 recounts confirmed in 2020 that former President Joe Biden had won the state, leading Trump to feud with the state's leaders for years. If he would have won Georgia, he would have still lost the election.
Yeah, he needed to win Wisconsin and one other state, Arizona.
Georgia, Wisconsin, and Arizona.
Yeah.
So, I'm just very interested in telling everybody to just take an inhale, breathe it out, and just wait and see what happens.
Oh, I don't
you
think,
too, Ryan. I'm talking to you.
I don't think anybody's saying, hey, now he's going to be declared the official president in 2020.
That's like something that you would say.
But if they can find some evidence here, and they're certainly taking it seriously. By the way, all the headlines on this, they are very split left and right.
Of course they are.
If you read a lefty headline from the AP or something like that, it says FBI executes search warrant in Fulton County. Like, oh, thanks for the info.
That's AP?
AP, Guardian.
But that's not, I'll take that.
Well,
from the AP.
It's factual, but it's not, if you read the right-leaning news, it's FBI executes or raids Fulton County election hub, which is
sure
more detail for sure.
For people in their audience who would then be compelled to click on the article.
Absolutely.
AP is reporting news. Fox News understands their audience, and maybe we could do a dip into Ms. Now and see what they're saying here in a little while.
They're probably avoiding it entirely.
I don't know. I'm not pumped about this. I'm not excited about it, but I'm not excited about it. I'm tired of it. And I honestly think that maybe, I know I have the plans for you, says the Lord, that maybe the way that things ended up going were better in the long run. Chances are they were. But that happened. So Fonnie Willis's picture is back on the screen here on Fox News, and their FBI is raiding election headquarters in Fulton County. And then we sit and we wait for more news. I don't want any new information unless it's devastating to the narrative. Like, it don't give, I don't want crumbs. I'm not a crumb person. I want facts. Otherwise, I'm not going to pay attention to it until, like, we're headed down. Like, this is there. What are the issues? There's the 2020 election, COVID, vaccinations. Listen to all the things we're talking about the day after we get a copyright strike on YouTube. There are all of these different things that you can't have a conversation about where facts are presented because nobody agrees on the facts. So I'd like some facts. I have thoughts, I have leanings, but I need some facts, especially before I come here and like champion they're finally going to prove that the election was stolen. I can't imagine that in 2026, there's some stuff laying around at election headquarters that like assigned in crayon, like we stole the 2020 election. Fonnie Willis, like right there.
Sincerely, Brad Raffensperger.
Yes. I don't know. It's a headline. It's happening. Something is going on. Don't get worked up about it. Pay attention to something that matters.
I'll tell you this one fact. MS Now not reporting on this at all.
Well, that might be a sign.
So
that is that. We'll keep an eye on it and maybe dip into Ms. Now a little bit later in the show. Let's see. We've got Fred Bodimer is going to come join us. I'm excited about that. I wonder if Mark Reardon wants to come at the same time, because I want to talk to them about Lutheran education. Fred Bodimer is very connected to the Lutheran Church and understands the ministry. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Thank you. Another $25 donated to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship in partnership with the Lutheran Elementary School Association. If you've been thinking about it, now's the time. Get your donation in. Text Annie26 to 41444. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. You reach out to Stewie directly, directly to the cell phone in his pocket right now or sitting on his desk at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Tell Stewie Annie said hi. He loves that. And ask him about your mortgage loan situation. Looking for a brand new mortgage? You want Stewie and the Bagel Loan, because when you process that loan, you're going to be able to get pre-approved right away. He can close that sucker in like 10 days, less than 2 weeks, and you can be closed on a brand new mortgage. Get that pre-approval done, and then you can go to his website and generate those pre-approval letters without having to go to a third party. You have access to it once that pre-approval is done. And also, if you're looking for a refinance on your home, even a cash out refinance, the Bagel Loan can apply, which means all of those mortgage situations, when you use the Bagel Loan, come with $0 paid on your part in closing costs. Stewie takes care of them for you. Smart business move. Call 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
Wiggins America.
All right, we are unmuting, so you have some sound here right now, and I'm just going to leave it unmuted so you can hear what we talk about in the breaks. Isn't that interesting? What?
It's a Wiggins America going in.
What? Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're at 43 total donations. That's incredible. 17% of our overall goal. And this is, again, an endowed scholarship. So if we don't make our goal at the end of the week, which I hope we do, but that's pretty far off right now, it's something that people can continue to donate. I also know that there are people who are donating on a recurring basis, which will help us get to that goal. Before we started this drive, last year, our total Annie Fry Show scholarship was up to $30,000. So we're adding to that right now. So if you want to donate, tell a friend. If you want to put a little bit in the pot there, just text Annie 26 to 41444. Another thing I'll tell you guys behind the scenes is there's this Trump accounts event that's happening in Washington, D.C. We got invited to go to that and to cover it live, but I got the invitation on like Sunday night, Monday, and it was today. Nicki Minaj is going to be there. So we did not go. Obviously, we're here, but we're kind of in contact with them. We might have the Idaho governor on. Who knows? All right, back to the show.
All right, here we are on the radio doing some content. Wiggins America time. Ethan's coming into the
On the
studio.
radio,
Let's
doing
do
content.
this. This is 5 things couples should do every weekend to keep their relationship thriving.
Nobody said the word content like that until the internet.
I used to say it all the time. You know why?
When you were in 4th grade?
Because I was a prophet.
Okay.
I knew it was coming.
5 things you should do every weekend?
5 things you should do every weekend to keep your relationship thriving. Couples should do.
Okay.
The first one is a little weird, Annie.
It's not that kind of show, Ryan.
It's spending time apart.
On the weekend?
The first thing that
That's
you
what
should
we do all
consider
week.
doing, spend a little time apart, because healthy independence is one of the best ways to build trust. Agree
Okay.
or disagree?
I don't know. I think my husband and my interests align very, very closely. So the things that he like, if he wanted to go golf, he would like me to go golfing with him. Now, if I don't want to go golfing, if he wants to get up in the morning and do like a sunrise 9 or something like that, totally okay for him to go on his own. So I think if your interests don't overlap, then you should be able to go do those things every once in a while so that you can still enjoy the things you like.
You know, if you work at a golf course, you know who you don't like? The sunrise people.
Why?
Because then they make you get there at that time.
It's your job. You're being paid to. Why are you there if you don't like
You don't want to be there at
morning
dawn.
golfers?
You want to be there a little bit later. First tee time, that's when you show up. Next one is creating small rituals together. Ethan, the key is consistency. Revealing that small rituals could be as simple as taking a walk together on Sunday afternoon, but each time you show up, you remind each other, we can count on this.
Yeah, I think it probably depends
Microphone.
on what. Oh, there you got me now. I think it probably depends on what kind of rituals we're talking about here. And we're not talking about
Not-
exorcisms,
not
anything
eyes
like
wide
that.
shut
Nothing
kinda stuff.
demonic.
Oh,
Okay, got it.
No.
What
we're
was
talk-
it again?
We're talking about having maybe a phone-free meal or working on a home improvement project.
Well,
Not all
that
that
sounds
weird,
nice.
sick stuff you're thinking about. These are creating small rituals together, Annie.
Okay. Gosh, it's just kids, like my husband and I went out for his birthday last Friday night. His birthday was Saturday. It was supposed
Happy
to
birthday, Jared.
That's right. We were supposed to go to the Jimmy Fallon show. That and everything else this weekend got canceled, which was amazing.
Mhm.
So we ended up going to 1818 Chop House on Friday night and had an incredible meal. It's funny how you can enjoy such a small amount of time together away from the kids where it's just about the two of you. We were there for maybe an hour. It like you don't need to have a long amount of time, but just a little goes such a long way.
Postponed to April 11th, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
Jimmy Fallon
Jimmy
postponed
Fallon,
to April 11th.
You also need space to talk about real feelings. Oh, now we're getting into it. The weekend provides a space to reflect on the week of highs and lows, with the expert of this article saying that the strongest relationships provide space for people to communicate honestly.
Who's the first person in your relationships to talk about feelings?
My wife.
Probably also my wife.
Brad?
Oh, my wife.
Annie?
She's the first person to talk, period. Like that's
I would
what she's
agree
going
with
to
that,
say.
too.
You're a silent person?
I'm not the one who really broaches a lot of conversations. She wants to unload at the end of her day, tell me what's on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we don't really talk about feelings. I don't know.
Well, if you approach a conversation saying we should talk about our feelings,
That sounds
both
terrible.
of you
to
are
me.
like, we're done.
yeah, neither of us are
No,
like,
thanks.
that's like, what do you need from me?
Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Right.
I love you.
Right.
Let's go get the kids.
Right.
I feel
Okay.
hungry.
Okay. All right. I just
That
want to
happens.
That's what that conversation would go
happens.
like for me.
Thank you. Thank you for that pause. We could all reflect here and the fact that the segment's going very well.
Mm.
The last thing on the list is showing appreciation for your partner. Appreciation fuels goodwill and reminds both partners that their efforts are seen.
What's the number one way you feel appreciated by Mrs. Wiggins?
I think the obvious, but beyond that, it would be words of affirmation.
All right, love language, man.
I need it. And I don't get it much because we just don't talk about that kind. We don't do the feeling stuff that much.
Ethan?
I would probably say that words of affirmation is up there for me as well. Yeah, I don't know. Feels good to hear
What?
nice
Why are
things
you
about yourself.
ughing?
I just thought I'd make him sort of feel bad about saying that.
Ryan, you literally just
And
said
what do
that.
words of affirmation sound like?
I see you.
Okay.
You look like you could use
Brad,
a
how
nice
do you
meal.
feel when Ryan looks at you and says, I see you?
A little
Do you feel
grossed
seen?
out. Yeah, but like not in a good way.
I see the gray in your beard.
You see a lot of things, but you also feel when somebody says that they see you.
Yeah, feel
you
uncomfortable.
Feel good. You feel great. Right, Annie?
One more minute.
Oh, one more minute.
I think the best thing that can be said in a relationship is thank you. It doesn't have to be like I don't think. Well, I don't know. You're the men in the room. Do you need like a lot of adjectives in your gratitude expressed to you? But if someone's like, Ethan, thank you for doing that. That was awesome.
Thank you for the small things goes a long way.
Yeah.
I think both ways. It's not that you expect it, but hearing it just lets you know that they recognize that you did that thing, which I think is nice.
You know what I do a lot of times is I'll tell my kids, you know how amazing your mom is, right? In front of her. I think that's probably a really good way to do it.
To use that sarcastic tone.
A little bit.
If you're saying that so you get credit, it's a
bit.
wash.
And I don't know.
It doesn't work
I
that way.
disagree.
Generally speaking, are you happy? That's the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll. Go vote. We'll be back in the 1 o'clock hour. Fred Bodimer, don't go away. Point Pest Control, point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. When you have the need to have somebody who's going to keep your house from being buggy, pesty, all those types of things, Point Pest Control, this is the number to call, Missouri and Illinois alike, 636-798-0023. That's 636-798-0023. Pointpestcontrol.com is the website to go to. You can learn about their premier service plan. That's what I subscribe to at my home. You will have them come out for quarterly treatments. It's a reasonably affordable cost. And if you mention Annie, when you call them, you're going to be able to save an extra 10% on whatever specials they might have going. Annie is mentioning my name is going to take an extra 10% off of that. So call 636-798-0023 for that spider that you never want to see again, or ants or roaches or the centipedes. The things with too many legs really is what I'm talking about. 636-798-0023. You can find them online. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
FBI search at an election office in Georgia. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The search is happening at an office in Fulton County, Georgia, where then former President Trump was one of multiple defendants previously charged with trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Sources telling Fox News a judge signed off on a warrant for today's FBI search.
We're told that this is a sealed matter before the court, meaning details are now limited. Now, agents are looking at documents, phones, computers. We are told via multiple sources this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Now, we don't know specifically what agents are taking to the FBI lab, items that may eventually become part of a federal case.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. For now, the FBI emphasizing today's search is court authorized. 2 Border Patrol agents involved in a deadly confrontation last weekend in Minnesota are now on administrative leave as the investigation into Alex Pretty's shooting continues. A report released by Georgia Senator John Ossoff claims more than 1,000 incidents of human rights violations at migrant detention facilities.
Among the claims are charges of physical and sexual abuse, family separation, mistreatment of pregnant women, and medical neglect, all allegedly occurring between January of 2025 and now. But the U.S. Department of Homeland Security is accusing Ossoff, a Democrat, of playing politics while both calling the report inaccurate and highlighting Ossoff's silence when the Biden administration couldn't account for hundreds of thousands of missing migrant children.
Fox's Evan Brown. A month after the capture of leader Nicolas Maduro, Secretary of State Marco Rubio says more military action is not planned in Venezuela.
That said, if an Iranian drone factory pops up and threatens our forces in the region, the president retains the option to eliminate that threat.
Rubio also reassuring a Senate panel the U.S. is not abandoning NATO. Just in from the Fed, they're leaving interest rates alone after 3 quarter-point cuts last year. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-515-1771. That's 800-515-1771. 800-515-1771.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us this afternoon, and we've got a special guest in studio, somebody who we see all the time but don't get to talk to as much. Fred Bodimer, the executive producer of The Mark Reardon Show, which you hear right here on 97.1 FM Talk when we get done from 3 to 6 p.m. Fred, thanks for coming in with us.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm always kind of scared to come in here because I don't think I'm funny enough.
Oh,
fun with you guys.
Well, we let Ryan.
I disagree.
We let Ryan in.
Ethan's on the show all the time, and you're way funny.
No, that's true. No, it's not that. It's not humor. It's you're too smart for the show because Ryan brings the average down so much.
See how not
Ethan,
funny he is?
now you've made all of us angry.
I said we brought the average down. I literally covered my bases here, Eddie.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think you did.
I don't like anything you said.
Doghouse, Ethan. Although he did just give me a tissue. Fred, something that you and I have in common. We're both Lutherans, and this week is National School Choice Week. But here on the Annie Fry Show, we partner with the Lutheran Elementary School Association, and we have a scholarship that we built it last year, and we're looking to grow it this year. We got another $50 donation from Gary. Thank you so much, Gary, for that donation. If you'd like to donate to us, it's Annie26 at 41444. Go straight to Lisa, and they help provide a Lutheran education for kids around the St. Louis area, Missouri and Illinois. Like Fred, which Lutheran church? You were affiliated with one downtown, right?
Yeah, let's tell the story. South St. Louis.
Okay.
Holy Cross Lutheran Elementary School. Ohio and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It was built in 1914. I did all of my, K through 8th grade there. Best times of my life. I got such a good basic education there that by the time I got into high school, I was, leaps and bounds ahead of all the kids in the public schools. So didn't go to a Lutheran high school, just couldn't afford it, couldn't make it work. But grade school years were great. I learned so much.
There's something that's really special about that time of a child's life. And yes, the education, if you attend a Lutheran school, and if you go to lisastl.org/Annie, you can see the 34 elementary schools in the bi-state area, Lutheran elementary schools, 34 of them. They're all very unique. So if you go to one Lutheran school and another, there are gonna be a lot of differences, but the consistency is an incredibly quality education. But the environment, especially in 2026, like everything that's out there in the world, that's out there kind of trying to get to our kids and our grandkids, it's nice to be able to have a Christ-centered environment where learning can take place with a kind of a set of standards that everybody agrees on.
What's fun, some of my fondest memories of going to Holy Cross was just trying to learn all the memory verses.
Yeah.
And the
memory,
the memory verses
M
were
word.
just incredible. And the small blue Luther's catechism, all of those things. And the partnership that the teachers had with the parents was amazing. They worked as one.
Mm-hmm.
And the principals, everyone was so well respected at these schools, especially at Holy Cross Lutheran School.
How big was your class, like, as you went through the years? Was it?
Yeah, it was small. That's the reason why I was a really good athlete, because my graduating class had 14 people total.
Yeah, were you in the top 10?
Yeah, 7 guys, seven girls.
That's nice.
And so we would combine the athletic, the sports teams, like 8th and 7th grade would be together, 5th and 6th grade would be together. But it was easy to stand out if you just show up.
What sports did you play?
Oh, everyone that was offered.
Whatever was in season.
It was a Lutheran school back in the 70s, so there was no soccer. So it was flag football, it was softball, it was basketball.
Do you think that you
track
could
and field
beat Ryan Wiggins in a foot race?
Now or prime versus prime?
Well, I'm thinking at our next break. Prime versus prime. Okay, let's split the conversation here. Were you fast? You think you could beat Ryan Wiggins?
No.
I wasn't fast either, though, Fred. So I don't know. I was athletic, but I was not fast.
We could run, and they'd say put it in regular time and speed it up, and we'd still be slow.
Listen to the podcast in 2 times.
Yeah. I think those smaller classrooms are really incredible too, especially, public schools right now, if they become overcrowded or whatever, you hear when I'm talking to people that end up attending Lutheran schools, a lot of times I hear parents say, my kid was just getting lost in the crowd. It's very easy, especially in that like middle school range, which my daughter's in 8th grade. My oldest daughter's in 8th grade. My next daughter's in 4th grade. So she's kind of getting right into that middle school age pretty soon. But if you're not one of those, more rare outgoing personalities, which most kids aren't in middle school is such a tough age. It's easy to show up, do your thing, and go home over and over and over again. And I don't think it's possible to do that at a Lutheran school.
Oh, definitely.
You're going to be
not.
seen.
Oh, yeah. And by everyone. The principal knows everybody's name.
In a positive way.
Right. Exactly.
Most kids.
I would say Holy Cross just nurtured my career to where I am today.
Really?
Because I was like the editor of the Sword and Shield school newspaper.
You did everything.
That's what you get to do.
You just walk around to each class and pick up the notes on what's big in the past month in the school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that. It was just so much fun.
I remember it would have been 1994, 1995. I was in 5th grade, and the 5th grade created a school post office. And so we created, all these little cubbies for the different grades, and people could send letters to other kids in the school through the post office.
Oh.
And so all the letters would come into us, then we would sort them by grade, and then we would deliver it to the classrooms, like if you got a letter or whatever. I don't do kids even know that the postal system exists in the 2020s? I don't know.
I think they could probably text each other now, but do you find that it was necessary to send messages during class via the post office?
Okay, well, in the 90s, we passed notes. Did you guys pass notes?
Oh, yeah. In the 70s, we passed notes.
I asked my husband the other day, he's a middle school teacher, he teaches 7th grade. I'm like, do kids pass notes in your class anymore?
Do they?
He said, yeah, sometimes. I go, do you take them? And he goes, it depends kind of on the situation and the kid. I'm like, do you read them? And he's like, well, if I take it, I'll probably read it to see if there's anything I need to know about or whatever. But passing notes, man, and learning how to fold them in a fun way so that it was super top secret.
And tiny.
And like a little football.
You had to make them so small.
Yeah.
So that nobody would see it.
When you were in grade school, did you guys have a Christmas card delivery sort of thing?
Yes.
Where you would sell Christmas cards. You walk around the neighborhood and sell them to all your neighbors.
Well, that's not what we did. We
We had boxes that we would sell.
That's cool. I think I sold magazines.
Door to
Something
door?
that we did. Oh yeah.
In
Like
college?
As a child on my bike in neighborhoods that my parents, no phone, no nothing, just get on a bike and go until you've sold 20 magazines, Annie. Don't go home until you do.
Oh, okay.
And that
Just
was
knock on the door and go, "Are you guys interested in
I would
Vogue?"
go sit at people's kitchen tables in their homes. Like I would do that for Girl Scout cookies. I was a cookie leader in Girl Scouts. Can you imagine letting your child just get on their bike and disappear with no way to contact them anymore? And they're sitting in people's houses selling Samoa cookies.
Only if they're bringing home bacon. I mean, I can still do it.
Run by the store and get some bacon too, kiddo.
I'm not too sure how much time I've got, but I want to make this one pitch.
You got time.
I loved my Lutheran grade school education so much that when I started to have kids of our own, Marie and I have 2 boys. They're both now grown up and out of the house, 28 and 26. And I wanted them to go to a Lutheran day school, a Lutheran grade school. But, the school closest to where we lived then was Green Park Lutheran School.
Yes.
And
they kicked our butts in volleyball twice this year.
Green Park was always good.
Yeah.
They were good in everything. But just couldn't afford it. If there was a scholarship or more scholarship money then, my kids would have gotten, the education that I wanted them to have, the Lutheran education. Needless to say, they went to public schools and did great.
Sure.
And I was very happy with the public schools that they went to, Beerbaum and Melville High School. Great jobs. But I just wanted them to experience what I experienced growing up.
And, I think I love that you make the point about you don't need to have a Lutheran school for your kid to grow up right. What you need is a really solid home life. I would imagine that there was some faith that was instilled in them at home that sending them to school wasn't the way that if you send your kid to school and you don't practice those types of things at home, it's not going to have the same depth potentially, but the spirit moves. I think it's so important what you said there to understand about what we're trying to do with this scholarship drive is we're essentially trying to just make this more accessible for families who want an alternative. And I don't know if you remember all the kids in your class, like what kind of church they went to, but there are kids that not everybody that I went to school with went to the Lutheran church of the school that we went to. There were in high school, certainly a few Catholics. I know in grade school, there were Baptists, Presbyterian who was in our class, but we all had a scriptural understanding of the Christian faith and it was welcoming. And to be around those people, my best friends in my life right now are people I went to Lutheran grade school with.
Oh, that's terrific.
Yeah. And truly, the amazing thing about it is that in many cases, my handful of really close friends that I still get together with at New Year's Eve and other events that happen throughout the year when we can make the time to get together, now our kids are going to school together in Lutheran schools. So it becomes a generational thing.
Yeah. And I can still see some of those kids or their parents, even when I go back to Holy Cross Lutheran Church, and still see them coming. It's just a great feeling.
Well, you're listening to Fred Bodimer, the executive producer of the Mark Reardon Show, which you can hear on 97.1 FM Talk right after we get done from 3 to 6 p.m. Incredible show. And I really love the way our shows pair up against each other because you said you come in here like something about some of us being funny. But what we cover, there's a lot of overlap, but there's a lot of uniqueness to our show versus your show. So I encourage people to always stick around and listen to Mark Reardon because, Fred, how long have you been producing radio?
43 years.
43 years.
Might be my 44th year. I started in 82 at KMOX.
And you started at KMOX and you've been part of KMOX?
Yeah, ever since.
That is unicorn stuff in the radio industry,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Well, that's older than us.
Not you.
I'm that age.
Forget about that race. I don't think I can do it.
Both
Right.
Fred Bodimer's KMOX career and Ryan Wiggins born in the same year. Pretty incredible. Fred,
Coincidence? I have no idea.
yes, coincidence only. Fred, thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm always happy to ask, that you asked me to come in.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. And I love, for people who are out there who are in the Lutheran circuit, I think it's the Lutheran school environment that creates this scenario where it's like all of a sudden you kind of know a lot about someone when you're like, you went to a Lutheran school.
Right.
There's a kindred spirit. There's just kind of an understanding, a warmth to that. And we want to make sure that that is available to those families in the Missouri, Illinois, St. Louis area that want it. That's really what it's about, and making it affordable so that people can choose and not be and prohibited by the cost of tuition, which I will tell you, whatever you're thinking tuition costs to go to a Lutheran school right now, make sure you look into it, because I guarantee you, a lot more affordable than you think it's going to be. All right. Fred Bodimer will be back on the air in the 3:00 hour with the Mark Reardon Show. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
If you would like to donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Fund with the Lutheran Elementary School Association, please consider texting Annie26 to 41444. Annie26 to 41444, or you can go to Lisa, Lesa, stl.org/Annie. We'll be right back. AirComfortService.com. If the cold weather has you cold in your home, it's time to call Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. Schedule a service repair. They do provide 24/7 emergency service. So if you or if someone you love or someone you're caring for has a furnace that's not doing its job, give them a call and schedule that service repair appointment right away. Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. They'll send out a licensed technician to your home. They'll do a thorough diagnostic test and check of your system. If your furnace stops working at night, over the weekend, holiday, Air Comfort Service offers that 24/7 emergency service so you don't ever have to be without heat. So put this number down, scratch it down on a piece of paper, or might as well just put it in your phone so you can call them at your earliest convenience to schedule that service repair appointment. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
All right, guys. Copyright strike, can't play music. That sucks. We're doing what we can with it. The people want Ryan to sing.
They. Who's they?
You got 15 seconds. Stop stalling.
What am I supposed to sing?
Just sing anything.
Oriadora, don't sit on the floor. Use the cuspador. That's what it's for.
On cue. More requests
Coming
from
back
you,
in.
folks. Thank you so much. Can't believe it.
All right. It's getting kind of lit on the breaks on the Annie Fry YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What is this song called that you just sang for the people?
I don't know. I think that it's.
Did you make it
probably-
up?
No. It's a very classic opera song, but I think I made the words up.
You said spit on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. Oriadora. I don't know. I honestly don't know what that song is, but everybody's heard it. It's an old opera.
YouTube live chat poll for today. Generally speaking, are you happy? 4 options. They are basically 2 options that say yes, 2 options that say no, you're not happy. And we're just asking you to apply to your answer whether you consider yourself to be a conservative person or a liberal person. I've been making the case, and I can't stop seeing it pretty much in all of these reports of the protests and people's reaction to what's going on in Minneapolis. But generally speaking, it's more than that. It's just the fact that Trump exists and is in power. That's really what the just mental breakdown across the board really is rooted in the fact that Trump is upright. And it's wild to see. I think, the VCU nurse, did you see that story? There was a nurse who goes on her TikTok and she's suggesting that I would play it for you, but there's some F-bombs in it. She suggests that if we need to seek out the ICE agents, and as a nurse, she suggests that if you have access to some sort of paralytic, that you inject ICE agents with this paralytic, which she refers to later as not being lethal, but everything that I read from all the comments on there suggests that it would paralyze your lungs. You would basically suffocate within yourself if you weren't given some sort of, well, I guess it was intubation was the thing that they needed to be provided. But, talking about all the different things that you could do to righteously attack ICE agents when you see them. A, psychotic thoughts. Just to even have those thoughts. Not normal, not healthy, seek help. Secondly, why do you video yourself saying these outrageous things? And thirdly, why do you publish it for the world to see?
I mean, unless you are really trying to get other people to do that. But had she done that? I mean, that's sick.
Well, VCU fired her. They quickly convened and canned her, and I hope that law enforcement is able to potentially prosecute her for making those types of threats. I just don't. When I think about the issues that are dividing us right now, we're super divided. We've been divided for 20 years now. When I think about the issues that are dividing us, there are a lot of people who are in play where you could have a conversation with them and probably not agree at the end of the conversation, but potentially if you were willing to use your ears instead of your mouth and listen, you might understand where the other person is coming from. But what the internet, what the TikTok culture has done to amplify crazy people. And then, there's a lot of reports that have come out that shows how TikTok and the algorithm amplifies certain messages, fake views that suggest that the content that I put up, everybody wants to see this. Hundreds of thousands of views. People must want more of this. So they post more and more and more. There's a complete and total lack of cognitive processing, which says just because I can say this, just because I can publish this, and just because there are people out there who will hear this and go, yeah, me too, doesn't make it a good idea. you said the word content earlier, and I was like, that content the word content in like the radio business didn't really exist until we had content creators and influencers. And I don't feel that we are going to get back on the right track culturally until we start collectively going, that right there, that's crazy. And you need to stop. If it's on the left, if it's on the right, equally so. If it's crazy and you're out there publishing these sort of psychotic ways to attack people because you don't agree with their policy, we have to collectively point at those people and say, shame. I see it on the left a lot. I don't really see it on the right. And I feel as though I'm subjectively blind to it. What am I missing? Who's doing this that I'm not seeing?
No, I don't know. Because you're right. Look, if in the media environment we live in, if you're willing to do something really nutty, and sometimes that would be illegal, sometimes it's just embarrassing, whatever it is, you can get attention. You can do it. But at what cost? I mean, you're going to sell your soul to get attention? Because I do see a lot of people on the left who are, I don't know if they're really trying just to rock the boat, or if they're trying to become influencers, or what their goal is in filming themselves at these crisis points of their life and saying this crazy stuff.
I think the word is discernment. Like we have to encourage people to discern what is for public consumption, what is a healthy thought. It's not unhealthy to be very frustrated and dismayed by what you see. Now, if you're very frustrated and dismayed by what you see ICE doing, you're entitled to that opinion and perspective. And you could share that, but then like suggesting that some sort of righteous indignation of physically attacking or harming these people, there's a delusion to that. There is a lack of discernment that takes place that is very consequential to how we can function together as a society. I've seen posts just in the last 24 hours from people who I know and love, and they're very much so saying, like, if they'll do this to a 5-year-old boy, then what's going to stop them from doing this to you? And I'm like, you've completely, where do you get your news? I think a lot of them get news from people on the TikToks and Instagram stories and YouTube shorts or whatever that just say these things, but they're just people. Some of them are in good faith. Most of them, I think, are not. They don't ever stop to even glance at the facts. They don't know the story that 5-year-old was not detained. He was never detained. The little 5-year-old, adorable 5-year-old in the adorable little bunny hat, was with his father, who is here illegally, and his father fled. His father left the 5-year-old behind. The 5-year-old was left alone, and the ICE agents were there. What the hell were they supposed to do after that? Leave him? They're damned if they do. They're damned if they don't. So what they did is they took the child to the child's mother, who said no. They were able to detain the father, who ran from law enforcement, and reunite the father with the child, which is policy. And the child, the father took the child while he was being detained, but the kid wasn't detained. The kid could have gone with mom. The dad could have not run. They did not arrest a 5-year-old. That didn't happen. And to me, it's like, if your argument is that we should have, if these people are in the community and enough people can vouch for these individuals who are living here and they came here illegally, but they're trying their hardest and they haven't, raped or murdered or kidnapped somebody. If enough people can vouch for them that they should be able to stay, make that argument. I'm probably not going to agree at the end, but make that argument. If your argument to me is ICE is arresting 5-year-olds now, nothing else that you say to me has value, because you haven't got the basic facts right to begin with. And you're being dishonest, or somebody has been dishonest with you and you haven't done any fact checking whatsoever.
Yeah, we got to be real careful with that stuff, because salacious headlines are happening all the time. I'm sure that's one of the reasons a lot of people come here for news, is that we have to filter out the salacious headline from what's really happening. And I know that a lot of people don't do that. And it's not on just one side, but you have to look into what's being fed, because there are people whose entire job it is to make you upset or emotional about something. And if they can get you on false premises, which they do a lot, then they won. And that's all they need.
I think the right is accused of being heartless and soulless, and the left gets accused of being brainless. And that's certainly not true for everybody who's on the left, and it's certainly not true for everybody on the right. But we kind of run to our corners because that's what those types of summations of, you know, how the right thinks, like you just how can you see that 5-year-old standing there alone? How can you see them and not feel something in your heart? And I do feel something in my heart. It's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. The question that I want to ask is, if the 5-year-old is there with his father in an adorable little bunny hat, what would you have happen in that situation? If a father has their child, are they just here permanently and they're untouchable? Watch the child trafficking go through the roof then. If the child is brought to their mother and the mother says, I can't take him in, what is supposed to happen here? You can't apply the law to some people and not to other people. You can't just say, well, if you don't have the good fortune of having children here, you're going to get deported. But if you were able to have a child here or bring a child here, well, I guess you have to stay. I mean, that's not law. And the law is supposed to be clear. If it's not clear, it will get challenged in court and it will be refined. It will be made more descriptive or more precise. Having somebody who's committed a crime, who's come here illegally, they're in the country illegally, that is either you are either here legally or you're not. That's not an emotional statement. That's just a statement of fact. And, you know, if I think, what would the left say to that? Annie, no one is illegal. How do you determine, you know, if you want to say nobody exists in an illegal capacity, you're basically saying, Annie, you don't have the right to strip away the human dignity of a person based on their geography at a given time. But you know what, folks? That is the entire predicate for the left and how they choose whether or not a baby is to be born or not. The simple geography of in utero or out of utero. If you want to balance the understanding of human dignity, you know, what if I concede that nobody is illegal? That one human can't look at someone and say that their existence here is an illegal existence. Can you tell me when that human dignity begins? Because of course they can't. The goalposts will be moved and I'll be called heartless, and I'm not. And if you say that I'm heartless, that doesn't make me feel as though I'm heartless, because I can assess the situation in my brain and tap into my heart and understand that there is an incredible amount of compassion in what this country is doing, saying, we will help you leave. We will send you on your way and you can come back. We don't have to do that. That is a courtesy. If you want to, again, say no to law and order in the United States of America, you've kind of run out of goodwill and good faith on behalf of the American people. Now, I don't want your deportation to include some sort of highly dramatic public event where little children are involved and it's a big ordeal and a big scene. Like, I don't take joy in that. And there are people on the right who do. I don't like that. I don't consider that I just got another one. And I see the comments on a lot of things where people are relishing in these deportations. That is a dehumanizing way of processing all of this, but that's kind of where everything is resorted to. I'm not going to make excuses for that. I'm also not going to do it. But at the end of the day, if you just look at the facts and you understand that you are in this country with a legal status or with an illegal status, if that is a fact that we can agree upon, regardless of the side of the aisle that we're on, if that is a fact that we can agree upon, you have to ask yourself, does the illegal status matter at all? And if it does, then we have to do something about it. I think that's what President Trump has been doing. I think that the people who were in Minneapolis, I think Bovino and Kristi Noem, when Preddy was shot, I wish they wouldn't have shot Preddy. Does that need to be said out loud? I don't think he brandished his gun. I don't think he was a threat. I think it was an incredibly tragic misunderstanding that cost Preddy his life. And I think that the rush to judgment that Kash Patel, that Kristi Noem put on this created a situation where the president knew he had to reset. And in all of this, you have to ask yourself, is the cause still a worthy cause? And it is. It is, in my opinion, because we still have to go back to the basic fact of, is it a legal status or an illegal status? If we agree on that fact, then we have to do something about the people who are here illegally. We just have to. All right, let's take a quick break. Let's talk about the YouTube live chat poll when we come back. If you'd like to text the show, Ryan will monitor those. The question is, generally speaking, are you happy? Yes, and you're a conservative, or no, you're not happy and you're conservative. Yes, you're a liberal, or no, and you're a liberal. Text us and tell us what you think. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, Matt Hayes. How about giving them a call and they can look at your wet basement concerns? Maybe that water hasn't seeped in quite yet. Let me look at a quick AccuWeather temperature here. Of course, it's not up on my phone right now. When it's super cold outside, that water might not be making its way into your basement, but there is a ton of snow out there. That water, when it melts, is going to have to go somewhere, which means if it's coming into your basement, you've got a big problem on your hands. And generally speaking, the problem is bigger than what you can see. And you need to know what you're dealing with. That's why you reach out to an expert like Matt Hayes. This is a family-owned business, a locally owned business, I might add. 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. And when you call Matt Hayes, he'll come take a look at what you're dealing with. And after doing many foundation repairs, wet basement concerns, he'll be able to tell you what you need to do, and he'll be able to do it for you. And with that wet basement, a lifetime warranty attached. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
I feel like, okay, we're unmuted here. I feel like for the folks just tuning in, we had to push out the music from the show because we got a copyright strike on YouTube. And I'm trying to protect the channel so we can still go live. Is it after this minute? Or a minute and a half. So we're just kind of visiting with you on the breaks here. I feel like, would you be interested in like maybe a daily word of the day that you have to work into conversation here, Ryan?
Who supplies the word?
We get to pick one from the audience.
Do I have to do it here or on air? I have to do it on air?
I think you need to do it in context to the show before the show's over.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me okay? Is there anything else that you can hear right now, or is it just me? Is it just us talking in the studio? We're just trying to make the best of the situation that we can.
So if you have a great word that you're like, you have to say this
yeah.
in the show.
Can I unmute your mic too here? Let's see. Ryan, you have to unmute it, Mike, Ryan, because you're the one who muted it. Julie Opperman, hi, says she can hear us. If you guys want to give Ryan a buzzword, like give us a really good word suggestion of something that you have to work it in a natural conversation. We won't acknowledge on the air that it happened.
Okay.
It'll just be for you folks, for the, let me look here, for the 95 current people who are watching.
And then you all have to scream in the chat.
Yeah. So I'm giving YouTube a commercial strike. They're running commercials in the middle of you guys talking or an interview. G-Libs, I know, I'm sorry.
How do you join in with what we're doing this week? You donate to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship Campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association by texting Annie26 to 41444 to donate. This money goes to a scholarship that helps kids stay in Christian education, Lutheran schools right here locally. It is a great cause. It's one of my favorite things that we do all year because we can see the direct results of people getting to stay in Lutheran schools just because you decided to donate here locally. So again, text Annie26 to 41444 to donate, or go to lisastl.org. That's LESASTL.org/Annie. It is 1:41. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Okay, so we're back in just a few seconds here. One of the words suggested by G. Willikers, Ryan, was enchilada.
Enchilada.
Yeah. Scooter says appreciation, but I had to Google that, and it says it's a different way to say appreciation. And
Okay.
So I would maybe enchilada.
All right, I guess we'll go with enchilada.
At some point through the show. It doesn't have to be right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right, welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Let's see here. Oh, goodness gracious. We just got a $100 donation at $104 because it looks like they covered the cost of it. I only need $296 more to get us over $3,000 for the day, which would be amazing. If we could get 3 people to donate $100, that would get us there real fast. Thank you to Anonymous, who donated $100. I'm going to get to some shout outs here too in the 2:00 hour. If you want to go to the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, you'll see pinned at the top of the Facebook page my little ad up there for people to join us and help support this scholarship fund. You should comment on there and give us an opportunity to shout out class of 1998 Trinity Lutheran Edwardsville. That's my class. And I'll throw some of those out there as well. So go to the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, share that too, and encourage other people to support us. If you'd like to donate to the scholarship, please consider doing so. We are at 18% of our total goal at Annie26. Text Annie26 to 41444. Shout out to St. Mark's Lutheran School in Eureka.
What's up, Eureka? Every time I drive through Eureka, I act like I discovered gold.
Eureka.
I scream it.
You're a doofus.
It's fun.
I don't know if it's time to talk about this yet. I've kind of I've wrestled with how to discuss this because I had a certain kind of immediate reaction to the story as it developed last night. And I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this as well. But there was a town hall that was being held last night in Minnesota. And many of you, if you've been online, you've probably seen this already. But if you haven't, Ilhan Omar was holding a town hall and a situation developed. And I think that when you watch this, I'd be very curious to hear what y'all think about the developments.
All right, let's take a turn now. We're going to begin with the new uproar in Minneapolis, where Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was assaulted last night during a town hall. You can see here a man sprayed her with an unknown substance. Does not appear that she was hurt, but it comes as new details emerge about the shooting death of VA nurse Alex Preddy.
So that was a CBS Mornings report on the incident. Ilhan Omar, Representative Congresswoman Omar, is standing at the podium. She's talking about Kristi Noem and ICE and how they're terrible. And this man who's sitting front and center jumps up, squirts something on her, which I believe was in like a medicine type of syringe. People say syringe. I don't think there was a needle attached to the syringe.
I couldn't tell.
But they squirt this sort of yellowish substance on it. And as one security guard comes up to wrap that guy up, Ilhan Omar decides, I'm getting in on this fight. And she goes after this guy.
That's the most surprising thing about the whole video is her reaction.
It bears importance to say, and to say it again, that there is never an appropriate time to treat anybody that way, to attack anybody in that. It's scary because we've seen a lot of instances where political figures, it doesn't have to just be elected officials. You would think that, of course, elected officials would be at the top of like, do not approach those people and violate them, assault them in that way, that it's never appropriate. And that I hope this person is held to the highest standard of the law. He's been charged, I think, with 3rd-degree assault for this instance. She finished the town hall. She didn't go clean herself up or anything.
That's the weird part. If you're Ilhan Omar, you are very visible. You're nationally known. Very divisive, of course. And somebody comes up and sprays you with something, like some weirdo comes up and just sprays you out of a syringe. Man, the first thing I'm doing is going, what the heck is on me?
I would assume that if I were a female in that position, I don't know that it matters. I think it does matter. But if I were a congresswoman in that instance, that there would be somebody who would be moving me out of the room immediately.
That seems like the natural response. It seems like honestly,
I think that would happen to a man in the same position. There would be people there that would
it's
say
not gender specific.
that. I think that there would be a shielding that would take place for a female, maybe more. Ilhan Omar, she appears to be a woman of small stature, but I think the whole thing looks weird. If it's real, if it's a real instance, then I feel, again, sad that we have another installment in our society where this type of stuff happens. If it was staged, which a lot of people online are suggesting that it was, I hope they expose that immediately.
Oh, I do too. And it's not as if I'm not saying this one was, but if it was, they'll find out, because they did. Remember the governor candidate in 2021 running against Virginia, the Democrat governor candidate in Virginia. He staged a whole bunch of stuff, and they found out afterwards.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that. Lee Zeldin was on a campaign stage, and I think someone ran at him with a knife. Gabby Giffords was a Democrat in Arizona. She was shot in the head. I mean, like, the psychotic stuff like this happens to Republicans and Democrats, and it's never okay. Watch the video for yourself. Let us know what you think. We'll be right back. All right, the Retirement Advisory Group, Tuesday, February 17th. Come see me, Mark, and of course, Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw, 6:30 p.m. at the Doubletree, Chesterfield. It's right off 64 West in Chesterfield Parkway. Why are you going to come out to this event? Other than, obviously, I would love to see you. Because you probably want to learn strategies that can give you market growth, but protect you from market losses at the same time, right? That's what you're looking for in your retirement. If you're interested in getting a free personalized retirement income plan, you're going to want to come to this event. And if you are 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss this free event. I need you to reserve your spot there so they can prepare materials to provide you when you come to this free event. 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494. You can visit retirementkey.com as well to learn more about this Tuesday, February 17th event. Starts at 6:30 p.m., but I get there at about 6 o'clock, and I'd love to meet you. So make sure you get your spot reserved. The Doubletree Chesterfield this time, Tuesday, February 17th. Call 314-993-9494. Online at retirementkey.com. Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show, a YouTube live chat poll. Generally speaking, are you happy? What are your thoughts on this poll? We've talked a lot, Ryan, about how I feel like if you look at the left right now, they're very, very, like the people who are out there, not necessarily like the Democrat you sit on the bleachers with at a basketball game. It just feels as though the liberal side of the aisle right now is really unhappy, but that very much so may not be the case. It just might be what I'm gleaning through social media.
I mean, yeah, it's a generalization. You got to look at the whole enchilada when you do these things. Are you happy overall? Is that tied to your politics? Certainly could be. Certainly could be an indication, but it's not the end all be all.
Let me interject right now and explain that I am happy. Mark Cook has just made a $259 donation to the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. Thank you, Mark, so much. And we have an anonymous donation for $104 and Gary, $52. Another anonymous at $25. We are at $2,963.
Oh, just shy.
$37, and we get ourselves over 3,000. Very much so. Thanks to everybody who's donated here in the last 24 hours. Robert Meyer, early this morning, $259 donation. Thank you for that. Nancy and Bill, $155. So we are just so close to $3,000 on the scholarship. And Mark, thank you very much for pushing us that far. I asked for 3 $100 donations, and he got us really pretty much there.
Close.
Yes. If you want to participate, be the person who pushes us over $3,000 right now. Text Annie26 to 41444. I'm looking for $37.
$37. Be the one.
What about you, Brad? The YouTube live chat poll. Generally speaking, are you happy? Yes or no? Liberal, conservative?
Well, I'm conservative. So yeah, generally I'm happy. I don't look around, like, even whenever, like, my politics don't really play into my happiness. I don't live and die by what Donald Trump does or what Joe Biden did whenever he was president. Did they do what they do affect my life? Yes, but not enough to.
Do you have things in your life that are more meaningful than what Donald Trump did today?
Absolutely.
What are you doing here?
Why are you here? Did you lie on your resume?
Yes. I lied a lot. Fake it till you make it.
Oh.
But yeah, there's so much more to life than like getting wrapped up in politics. And Ryan, you both asked that question about that lady, that nurse. Like, what makes a person do that? Are there people on the right that does it? There are people on the right that do those sort of things, but they get marginalized pretty quickly by the people on the right. They'll look at it and say, nope, off to the side. And not only that, the algorithms and stuff like that are set up more so to do that. So, I just think that stuff, there's more to life, more that gives you meaning and worth than how you vote, and you can't let your happiness be decided on that.
2 more $25 donations. We're over $3,013. Thank you to the 2 people who donated there, making me a happy girl. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing through the course of this week. Let's do the best we can. I've prayed about it, and I've decided that I'm going to give that up to God and pray that we are blessed, and whatever dollars come in are going to be a blessing to those local St. Louis kids, Missouri and Illinois alike. 34 elementary schools, Lutheran elementary schools around the area, where kids are going to learn about math and science and English and literature and grammar and spelling and memory and Jesus. Most of all, Jesus.
Not in that order.
Nope. Not in that order. I do look at the mood that exists. And I do know people in my real life who I assume that they're not listening right now. If they are listening and you hate Donald Trump and you know I like it, like, why are you listening? I don't like if listening to me say, I'm really super pumped about Trump accounts, which is something that the president is championing today. It's a big effort in DC today. If I'm really pumped about that and Donald Trump did it, there are definitely people who hate it because Donald Trump did it. It's hard to talk with people who absolutely hate everything that happens if Donald Trump is adjacent to it. Now, I will say on the same side, I'm not the type of person that if Donald Trump did it, I automatically love it. Like Brad was saying, like, there's a lot that comes before my thoughts or even the presence of thinking about Donald Trump. There's a lot of blessings in our lives to celebrate before we let that enter in and potentially ruin the day. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Okay, everybody left me, and so I'm in here by myself. If you want, enchilada, I think might be the word of choice right now. We're going to let you give a word of the day to Ryan Wiggins, and then 2 o'clock hour, he'll use it. They're going to get the wigs right now. It's wig day, part of our spirit today. I think if you can hear, it's my headphones. I'll take ideas from you guys on interesting ways to try to motivate people to donate. You got any good ideas? Let me know what that might be. Some of the topics I haven't gotten to yet. Let's see here. Tim Walz on Minnesota. I'm kind of sick of it. Do you ever just get sick of hearing it? Like, okay, if I play clips for you on Tim Walz, it's the same thing that it would have been last week, last month, last year. We're going to have Dustin Grange back on the show tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and he is the Minnesota kind of a grassroots reporter. He was on with us earlier. Really, really interesting guy who is like super in the know when it comes to this type of fraud and corruption and everything that's going on in Minnesota. He'll be on with us tomorrow, so we'll get some more details from him then. Let's see here. Fraud, deportation PR, stuff on the shutdown, the Ilhan Omar thing. I already played that. Do you guys think she faked it? I don't know. I sure hope not. That would be an incredibly new low. We're live. We're on air. Oh, look at these wigs.
I already picked mine.
Dale said, Annie Fry, never let wigs cut your hair again. I'm going to let him give me hair. Is that yours?
This one's gonna be mine, yeah.
Have you ever worn that in here before? Can you bring them over here so we can, like, maybe pick some?
Oh, look, this one has a little attachment.
Oh, it's a little attachment. All right. I don't intend to let him cut my hair. I kind of like my hair. Last year when I let him cut my hair, I was planning on getting my hair cut anyway. And so I
just took it a little further.
Didn't know that it was going to get that cut that short.
I think Annie should wear this one.
That's terrible. What is this?
It's a princess wig, I think.
When?
Now, this one is kind of like the same as your hair.
So maybe nobody would, but like
Nobody would
a
know.
like not a pixie, but
No,
like
it's
a
the exact same.
A pause
Nobody
for
would
the
even know
Fed.
you were wearing
On
it.
Lisa Brady, Fox News.
okay.
The central
Supposed to
bank
be
leaving a
green.
key
Let's do-
interest
let's
rate
do in
unchanged
this
In
after
red.
3
But I don't know,
quarter-point
maybe people won't
cuts
know that
last
he's
year.
wearing
Available
red.
indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at
Dawn
a solid
says I miss our
pace.
Will
But
Sharp
Fed
days.
Chair Jerome
Me
Powell also
too.
says
Yeah.
I
housing
just put
sector
on
activity
X
remains weak
my
and that
bucket list
uncertainty
interviews,
about
which,
the
like,
economic
included Donald
outlook
Trump.
remains elevated, though he also says
I almost
there's
put
been
on there Will
improvement
Sharp.
since the Fed's last meeting. Powell
I talk to him
declining
every
to
once
say
in a while,
whether the
so I'm
Fed has
still in
responded
communication
to
with him, but he's
subpoenas
obviously
involving
limited in what he's
renovation work
permitted
at
to
the
do.
central
Haven't
bank
seen
I'm
him
voting
headquarters.
this for
on
Ethan.
TV as
Congress
much
is
lately.
running out of
This
time
one?
to avoid another government shutdown. There's a
like some
Friday night
bangs and stuff?
deadline.
Yeah,
You
they
shut
don't
down the
stay
government heading
in
into
great
this
shape
weekend.
in the
Can I
bag.
brush
That means no
Oh,
money
yeah,
for
you can do it,
FEMA
but
at
it's
a
gonna-
time when
some of it's
half of the
gonna-
country is under the impact of this terrible storm, and another storm is coming.
Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso urging Democrats to vote for 6 spending bills that already
Scooter says he
passed
was
the
a great guest.
House
He
with
was such a great
bipartisan
guest.
support.
So
But some Senate
knowledgeable
Democrats
and like
want to
funny.
change the Homeland
And my
Security
favorite
bill
Will Sharp
over
story.
opposition
I'd have
to
to go back
immigration
and
enforcement
remember
operations. U.S. Attorney
the
General Pam Bondi is in
it's
Minneapolis
on
announcing
our YouTube
charges
channel
against
back
16
in the day.
protesters
But we were
accused of attacking
interviewing Will
federal
Sharp,
agents
and he
and
was standing
posting
in
that
Ryan
more
Wiggins'
arrests
position.
are expected.
Donald
DOJ
Trump
has been
called him
very
on
active
the
in
air,
bringing charges against
live on the
anti-ICE
air, in the middle of an
protesters. And
interview.
while
And I
a
had
lot
to
of those
say,
cases have
he-
ultimately
he's
been
like,
thrown out
he
or dropped,
looks
it is
at his phone,
clear
it goes just like
they are
this.
trying to
He's
send a
talking,
message
I'm
about
asking him
obstructing
questions,
federal
and he goes like
immigration
this.
operations.
Fox's Garrett Tenney in
And he looks
Minneapolis.
back down at
Meantime,
his
2 Border
phone,
Patrol
and then he
agents
goes,
who fired their weapons
and
during
then
the
he just
confrontation that
left.
killed
And
protester
we were
Alex
like,
Preddy last weekend
okay, that's
have
no
been
problem. This
placed
is
on
when he was
administrative
serving
leave as that
as
investigation
Trump's
continues.
lawyer.
In Georgia, the FBI executing a search warrant at an election office in
I
Fulton
gotta cue
County,
this up. Nicki
where
Minaj
then
is
former
talking.
President Trump
I
and
wonder if this is
others
on the
had
White House.
previously faced
I bet this is
charges
on
of
the White
election
House.
interference.
Nicki Minaj, this
Sources
is the
telling
event that
Fox
we were
News
invited
today's
to come
search
cover
is
live in
related
person. We
to
would
the
have been
2020
there.
election. America is listening
Unfortunately,
to
I
Fox
cannot
News.
turn my life around in a matter of 48 hours to be in Washington, D.C.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is
Okay,
it really
we have
worth
time. I
holding
gotta put
on
my
to that
wig on.
timeshare that you
I'm
know
gonna
you
mute
need to
this
get rid
again,
of?
and,
Here's the
we-
truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-515-1771. That's 800-515-1771. 800-515-1771.
There might be a moment in everybody's life where they have this thought, but I just had it maybe for the first time. It's a time where I reflect and think, why do I not have a better selection of wigs? And again, this is something that maybe is common to mankind, but I just had this epiphany that I need to get better wigs next time. This is the Annie Fry Show. We are combing our fake hair right now, and that's why Annie couldn't come on. There she is. Although if you're watching, you'll see that she
Can you-
just came into view.
I think I'm the biggest fan of Ryan's. I've never seen you with hair like that. You look like a man who really wanted to restore his hair and just took it a little too far.
And wanted to be in a band and never been in a band before.
Like the lead singer of Nickelback.
Yeah, but a little, past my prime.
Past his prime. Yeah.
Getting silver.
Now, why in the world would we be wearing wigs? So while we're doing this, we need to make sure that you understand that we are trying to raise money right now. And that's why I look like an idiot. I won't comment on I kind of did already on you, but I would say you guys look fantastic.
I look okay.
Tune in to the Annie Fry YouTube channel to view it. We'll take some pictures, maybe, probably not. So if you want to see it, you're going to have to log in. And Frank Belleville donated $26. Stephen Ed Erdenberger, $41. And another $25 anonymous donation. So we're at $3,055. And this is a very exciting thing. If we get to $5,000, there is a match for an additional $1,000.
Sweet.
So if we can get to 5,000, we will be able to push it immediately up to $6,000 because there is a match. So I want to know, if you were to describe your wig right now for the people listening who can't have the luxury of looking right now, what would you describe, Brian? Like what are you sporting there?
Some sort of silver-ish. It makes me look older, but it also makes me look cooler. It's silver hair that comes down just a little bit over my eyes. And I look like I was the lead singer of a popular band. And
you looked like you tried out to be a lead singer of a popular band and didn't make the cut.
Yeah. I'm the guy that, still lives in a one-bedroom studio in downtown somewhere.
Living the dream.
Just trying hard. Just trying to make it. And kind of succeeding, but not quite.
I don't know what this means. Roadmaster, who has donated to the scholarship, thank you, Roadmaster, says Annie looks like Debbie Harry from the band Blondie.
A little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you're kidding. Yes, you do. You do know. You just don't know. One way or another.
I can't tell based on what I look like right now. I need to make it a little flatter.
Your hair is a little cool too.
How would you describe? It's hard. You can't even really tell that Brad's wearing a wig.
This is true.
Brad's is the most off-putting.
Brad looks like a black poodle.
People say that he looks like Slash from Guns N' Roses.
The other comment that I saw said that I look like the JD Vance meme.
Oh, that's funny.
That's true too. Okay, G. Willikers says Annie looks like a 90s sitcom mom. Brad and Ryan look like they'd be at the local gas station with a Ford Escort.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
with street racing tires and a flame paint job and a blower so big the hood couldn't hold it.
By the end of this segment, I'm going to make this thing look good. Let's add this. This is probably the prescient thought of that texter yesterday that said that I was just jealous of Christy Noem. They probably knew I was going to look like this.
You're trying to look just like her now.
I don't know about that.
What if you wore Brad's wig? Would that look more like Christy?
We can try it in the next segment.
Okay.
Let's say if we get a few donations here before then, we'll trade wigs.
Okay. Somebody's gonna get my wig,
Excuse me, what?
my lice.
Ew.
Oh no.
If you had lice, I'm concerned about that pre-wig, not just now. Annie Fry, or don't go to Annie26, text Annie26 to 41444. That's Annie26 to 41444. Did you guys hear about this man who won the lottery? I could play the clip for you. He's got a very, very heavy accent, and so it's hard to really understand what he's saying. So I'm just going to read his story. He won the Powerball jackpot.
Sweet.
And he won $315 million. His name is Tayeb Soami. He's 56. He purchased orange juice at the grocery store for $5. This guy went to the store for orange juice, paid $5. He came home and his wife told him to return it because it was on sale for $2.50 everywhere else.
It's a good move.
That is not. You better have lived down the street, walking distance from the store, because the gas that you're going to pay to and from might have covered that $2.50.
You better have a really flat drive to Walmart.
So, 56-year-old, $5 jug of orange juice. Wife says, you did not pay $5 for that. You take that back. You can get that for $2.50 elsewhere. And so he does what every husband who's tired of arguing does. He goes back to the store and returns the orange juice so he can buy it elsewhere for half price. Went, according to this Twitter post, went to the customer service counter, and there was a Powerball sign there reading $360 million. It caught his eye. He just liked the number 306. He just like, I really like that number. So he decided to buy 2 tickets with the cash that he saved, got back from the orange juice. So he returned the $5 orange juice and was like, I'm going to do what she said, but I'm going to take it my own direction a little bit.
Happy
But
life.
2 Powerball tickets. The next day he planned to do some work in his backyard. He realized his car was dirty, decided to go get it washed first. He stopped at a red light. Swami noticed a 7-Eleven store to his right, went inside to check his lottery tickets, and found out he had won the jackpot. Real question. Who gets credit for winning that jackpot? The husband or the wife?
Husband.
Mm-hmm.
Going husband, locking it in.
It never happens if the wife doesn't send him back.
True, but she was just a cog in that machine. He was the one spitting out the food pellets.
But even if he did exactly what the wife asked him to do, then they still don't win the lottery.
Exactly.
If he didn't do what the wife said to do, they don't win the lottery.
That's true too. But he ultimately made the decision.
Yeah, it was the audible that won him.
So he's probably gotten a nice paycheck, probably going to get a divorce. And he's going to be living a life.
Can you imagine grumbling all the way back to the grocery store? I'll get this $2.50 orange juice, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to buy lottery tickets with this $5 and winning $315 million because of that.
It's just crazy. It's so weird to see what people do with that money too, because so many of their lives turn out
The orange
so
juice
poorly.
return money or the lottery money?
The lottery money. Because so many of those people who win, they've never experienced any sort of wealth, and so suddenly when you have it, they just blow it, and they do ruin their lives. I mean, you hear those stories a lot.
Here's the opposite situation. The New York Post is covering this story. This just irritates me to no end. Gavin Newsom is maybe the most annoying person in politics to me right now. Is there a more annoying person than Gavin Newsom? Just like every time you see him, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, I really do that with Eric Swalwell. Something about that guy just grates me.
That would probably be the case if I saw him more often. I feel like Gavin Newsom is
he's trying
maybe more
so
prevalent
hard.
because he's just trying to break through. He is the biggest tryhard of tryhards. New York Post says Gavin Newsom shoots down claim that $236 million program for California's mentally ill has helped just 22 people in 4 years.
He shot down that idea?
He's saying that's not accurate. The New York Post said Newsom's $236 million program to help those with severe mental illness who bounce between homelessness and jail has helped a measly 22 people since its launch in 2022, according to a new report. Newsom's Care Court was billed as a, quote, completely new paradigm to get the mentally ill off the streets and into treatment, with up to 12,000 people expected to benefit, according to the Daily Mail. Only 22 people have been sent to treatment over the past 4 years, after a state analysis found that up to 50,000 people could be eligible for the program. 22 people. $236 million spent on this program. And Gavin Newsom goes, oh, that's not right. That's not accurate. The 22 court-ordered cases were among roughly 3,000 petitions filed statewide as of October. Of those, only 706 were approved, including 684 voluntary agreements that never intended to meet program's goal. I feel like this should be disqualifying for being able to be in charge of taxpayer dollars in the future.
Well, this would be one of many, because there are so many financial scandals that swirl around the governor of California at any given time that finding out a new one almost becomes a part of the wallpaper.
All right. Well, we are going to have a big reveal when we come back. Ethan Sports and Local is going next level. And by that, I could say it's going to new heights. The Spirit Week on the Annie Fry Show continues. I've got my lovely wig on. I think I've made this look a little nicer. It's getting there.
It looks like you could pass as a fake haircut.
Like, do you think if I went to the little E-Mart out there to get an iced tea or something that people would notice?
Yes, they would notice.
Oh, why?
Because it looks fake.
Oh.
But it doesn't look bad. It just looks fake.
It's giving Amy Poehler.
I don't know what it is. There's a time period.
I think I look like one of those. I can't remember what the type of art is, but like the primary color, cartoony looking, maybe 50s type of something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Come on to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Say hi. Let us know who wore it best. And we'll do Ethan Sports and Local next with a site that I've never seen before. I can't even really believe what's in front of my eyes right now. If you would like to help us raise the Annie Fry Show scholarship drive that we have right now paired with Lutheran Elementary School Association, please consider being a part of we are at 49 supporters right now. We've got 49 donors. A shout out to, let me find that name again.
This looks so bad.
You get just
It's ridiculous.
So stupid.
We'll put you on camera on the break. People can get a little one-on-one here on the break with it. Stephen Erdenberger gave us the $37 to help push us over 3,000. We've got more donations that have come in. I'm looking for my 50th donor right now, and I'd love it to be a big one, but I'll take anything I can get. We're 20% to our goal, and we have 49 supporters. Would you be number 50? We'd love to have you. You can text Annie26 to 41444. That's Annie26 to 41444. Or you can go to Lisa with an E, LESASTL.org/Annie. Guys, you're going to be able to hear this wig on Ethan when we come back. It's incredible. Don't go away.
Did you put that in on purpose?
Man.
No, I didn't. It just happened to hit.
Oh my gosh, it's
There he
for
is.
real.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Ever. Not just
Wow.
on radio. Ever.
Ever?
I look so stupid right
I bet
now.
you if we dug into your past, we could find dumber
We don't
things.
need to.
This is going to destroy your career.
What? What even? I have to go full screen. 'cause
People
I
were
can't even
considering
see
you for a
myself.
job as a serious broadcaster.
I think you
What
need to
the
tune in
hell
right
is
now
on
to
my
the
head?
Annie Fry YouTube channel and see it's Wig Day, which plays really well on
What
the
is
radio.
that?
I might add.
Mhm.
But it's a
That
bad
looks like
wig.
a rat's nest on top of my head.
It's a bad wig. Come check us out and see these wigs. We just got a 50th donation, another anonymous donation of $25. So thank you for the 50th donor to the Annie Fry Show scholarship. It is time for Handsome Ethan's Sports and Local.
This is so unfair that I'm being asked to host a segment of radio while looking like this. I don't
think that if you look at the rest of us, any of us are like looking great right now.
It's not even that. I'm talking about the constantly having to spit this wig hair out of my mouth because that's happening right now.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, get over it.
All right. My headphones are also falling off of my head. Just want to put that out there. Okay. Wow. Last night, big night for SLU basketball. Annie, educated guess time for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's their record?
20-1.
20-1
at the almost buzzer.
At the almost buzzer. Robbie Avila, nicknamed not by me. This is his internet nickname.
The ovulator.
That would have been pretty good.
I like it.
This is even better in my
I
opinion.
couldn't pass it up. No disrespect. It's just so good. And I bet that's not the first time you've heard it.
His nickname is Cream Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, because he's super white.
Correct. Cream Abdul-Jabbar. He was he got pretty well known when he was at Indiana State because he just had silky moves in the post. And
just like
he
hair.
has brought those silky moves to SLU. And last night he hit almost a buzzer beater with 3 seconds left, a 3-point jumper to give SLU.
Is Bob Ramsey having the time of his life? Is he still?
Oh my gosh, his call last night.
I got to go
was
back and listen
killer.
to it.
Both him and Tom Ackerman.
Yeah.
Ackerman was on the TV side. They both had great calls.
Oh.
But that gave SLU a 79-76 lead over George Washington, and they got the win and are now 20-1. 20-1.
20 and a buzzer beater, right? Wasn't
yes,
the end
they
one?
They were a buzzer beater away from being undefeated. Yes,
crazy. Best start, as I understand it, in school history.
This is also correct.
I see a lot of people though saying, "Yeah, but it's their conference. If they were to play the Big Ten or Big East or somebody, they just get smoked."
That's the fun part about college
find out.
basketball. In college football, you could say that, and there's a legitimate argument behind it. It's different in college basketball because we have seen constantly throughout decades, small schools go on these epic Cinderella runs, and you never know who can be that next team. And SLU is one of those teams that they're talking about could be that.
The March Madness tournament is what makes it so special because everybody has to show up and everybody has to win. It's, there isn't so much of this like, coaches poll, AP poll, projection on, who's in the top 12, and it's based on a judgment call. There are a lot of, if you have 64 teams, actually it's 68 now, because however many playing games there are, the people who need to be in that tournament are going to get a chance to be in that tournament. And 1 seeds have gone down in the first round. It's not very likely, but it has happened. So anybody's got a shot. And if you are a 16 seed that beats a 1 seed, you've got the easiest path then, because obviously the 1 seed is going to be set up to have the easiest path. Like anybody can compete. You just got to show up and make the shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, SLU in ESPN's latest bracketology is projected to be a 7 seed. If they continue to win, they're going to get a better seeding than that. But this is the fun part right now. They're projected to be in the same region as Illinois, who is a projected 2 seed right now, Annie. And they are right now projected to play in the St. Louis region.
Ooh,
how
really
awesome would that be if those two played?
Wait, the St. Louis region, is that first round or is that
first and second round are gonna the Enterprise Center is hosting.
Whoa.
So there is the potential for Illinois and SLU. If now think the seedings that could change.
So they could face off here.
Thank you.
Have I been off the whole time?
You were off.
The whole time?
Yeah.
The last couple of times you ducked.
You guys have headphones on.
It's all right,
You
you
got to
were
do something
loud.
about that.
That's why I pointed at you.
Well, thank you for helping me out.
Very smooth. What was your question, Annie?
If they were a 7 seed and they're 2 seed, 2 plays 15
and 7 plays 10. And they would, if they both won, they would play each other in the second round.
Oh my gosh, that would be so exciting.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
This is what makes me mad about the college basketball system. Well, a lot of things, but this one,
I love
how much
basketball.
better could SLU do? And you're saying they're still only projected to be a 7 seed.
It's like
that's the highest they could possibly get.
They will if they continue winning, if they finish 31-1 or go 30-2, 29-3, they could definitely be a 5 seed, a 6 seed. But yeah, and there is good reasoning for that, Ryan. I mean, the competition level is lower, so that is understandable. But that 7 spot, that's that's not a terrible spot for where they are right now. I mean, they're ranked 21st in the country right now, so there's a lot of time for them to continue jumping up in the bracket projections. So pretty exciting though right now for what SLU basketball is
Can
doing.
you do that kind of reporting from a sideline at some point, but wearing that hair?
Yes.
No.
I will fund it.
Locked in.
Never going to happen. It was not a great night for Mizzou.
Interrupting. Sorry. Thank you, Kathy Simmerall, for a $52 donation. And the associate producer of the Annie Fry Show on Fridays, Bobo Farms, with a $104 donation. Thank you so much. 3210. And reminder, if we get to $5,000, we have a match of an additional $1,000 that is coming in. So we are at 3210 with 51 donors. Thank you so much for that, Kathy and Bobo. You can continue on.
Thank you for all the
Text
comments about my looks right now.
to 41444.
Appreciate all the comments about my looks in the chat right now. Thank
I
you for
added
that.
the pink, hot pink lipstick to see if I could look more like a cartoon character. I think it did it.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Didn't it?
You know what you look like is somebody who's in a witness protection program in a movie.
And I'm about to get caught.
Trying to look like they're in a witness protection program.
I'm going to put on some more eyeliner here and really do this up. And then I'm going to have to wipe my face off before I go home.
Should I continue talking?
You can.
Okay. All right. I have permission.
You don't
Thank
have to.
SLU hosts Dayton on Friday night in their, I forget, it's called like their Winter Madness game or something like that. It has a theme where everyone wears white out. Everyone gets a t-shirt when they go in, and it's one of their biggest home games of the year. Dayton is really good. It's sold out, so it's going to be a fun one on
I was going to ask, do we
night.
know who their biggest competition, their biggest challenge on the schedule is?
Dayton and VCU. They already beat VCU once this year on the road. That's a team they've traditionally struggled against. They play them, I believe, in February at home. So still a couple of big conference games left on the schedule for them. But certainly they're in a good spot right now. Mizzou got absolutely shellacked last night by number 23 ranked Alabama. 90-64 was the final score in that one. Not really much to talk about there besides that it was a beatdown. The Blues, they lost in Blues fashion last night. Once again, this is 5 straight losses for the Blues. They were down in this game at the second intermission, 3-0.
Yeah.
And then they had this epic comeback where we saw Braden Shen score twice and Robbie Fabry also scored. The game was 3-3 with a minute left.
Oh, no.
All for the Stars to score and win the game 4-3.
Oh, no.
In regulation?
In regulation. So here's where I'm at this point. I am all aboard the collapse to get a very good pick at this point.
Does that happen in the NHL the way? I mean, I know that for the NFL, it's a huge, the draft is huge, and baseball is a little bit different. Is that big in the NHL?
Yes, it is big in the NHL. In today's day and age, it's usually only a couple of players per draft are ready to play at the professional level immediately or almost immediately. It's not every single year, but we've seen that in recent years where some of the very close to getting to being some of the best players in the league, Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini, 2 of them, the last 2 number 1 picks, played immediately in the NHL and are very good, very highly regarded. So if the Blues right now, the Blues have the second highest odds for the number 1 pick. They have the second worst point total in the NHL. So if this were to continue, it kind of would be exciting to see them get a number 1 pick. I don't expect the Blues to go into this massive rebuild. Sorry, hair in my mouth. Not my hair. Just want to point that out. Was the wig hair. I don't expect the Blues to go into this massive rebuild, but they could maybe set something up to where it's sell off a couple of pieces, in the offseason, you kind of reevaluate, you add a couple more pieces, and they could be ready to compete next year with potentially having a number 1 pick.
Wasn't this supposed to be their window, though? Weren't they supposed to be getting into their window?
It was, but things just haven't worked out. So they're going to have to figure out how they can right this ship and fix things, because clearly what they're doing right now is it's not working out.
You know what they say?
What do they say,
When the
Ryan?
Blues close a window, God opens a
No, this might be blasphemy. Please stop.
Window. Different window.
My actual hair is starting to come out of the bottom of this.
Don't let that happen.
I'm working hard on making this look good.
You know what? I realized who I look like renowned British particle physicist Brian Cox.
I think if you take that hat back off right now, it's wig day on the Annie Fry Show Spirit Week. I think you look like Ryan Gosling, like knockoff Ryan Gosling.
Oh yeah.
Way too nice of a
Maybe
compliment.
like Barbie.
Barbie
Ryan,
Gosling?
but like
I look like a chiseled doll?
not the muscles
Just kidding.
so much, but I don't know because you're wearing your sweatshirt. I guess if we get over $5,000, Ryan will show you his chiseled muscles.
He
will.
looks like he
I will
should have.
show you all of them.
He looks like he should have
no.
frosted tips. That's what it looks like he
It's-
should have.
That's crazy. Get on the Annie Fry YouTube channel and come see our wigs. And we're gonna take a quick break right here. Ethan, thank you.
Thank you for being over.
Oh, you can't go anywhere.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
no, you just got to keep
You
it
can't.
on
You got to
out
keep
there.
the wig on out in the producer's area.
100%. Come support the Annie Fry Show scholarship drive. It is this week, and we would love to welcome you into the Annie Fry Show family in support of local kids. This is our way to show up without any sort of government intervention to help local kids access school choice more affordably speaking. I had to look down to make sure my microphone was on. You guys would have told me by now, right?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
understand that. I've tried to transform myself into Marilyn Monroe, and I think that the texter from yesterday who who said that I was angry at Chrissy Nome because I was jealous of her, I think that might be applicable right now. I don't know if I'm pulling off the Marilyn Monroe thing with this wig. I got a text from a friend. He said Ryan Gosling's doppelganger. That is exactly right.
Doppelganger.
If you were going to be somebody's doppelganger,
What is doppelganger again?
you.
It's nasty, but looks like him, but gross.
Ugly version.
Do you you know what Ryan Gosling looks like,
Absolutely.
and you know what you look like right
See
now.
the poster every night.
We'll be right back. Todd Sivia and Sivia Law. I encourage you to put your trust, put your faith in Todd Sivia at one of his offices, 7 locations in Illinois and Missouri. You can visit them for your estate planning needs, establishing that trust, powers of attorney, making sure that your future questions can be answered with confidence with an expert who knows all the ins and outs of estate planning law and the tax law that you might need to ensure that you are positioning yourself for the best possible outcome and that you've taken care of your future. That's what Sivia Law does. They help you through all of those life's transitions. So when you call 833-995-WILL right now, you are going to be able to establish your initial meeting, your initial consultation. They refer to it as a strategy session. And if you mention my name and you're one of the first 10 people to call 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL, they're going to waive that strategy session fee for you. It's a $300 savings. So reach out to them and talk to them about how to avoid probate. That costs you time. That costs you money. You want to avoid that. Certainly, Todd Sivia, I'm telling you what, you sit down with him and have a conversation with him. He's going to save you money and significantly in the long run. 833-995-WILL, online at civialaw.com.
We are wearing crazy wigs. Why? Because we're raising money for the Annie Fry Show scholarship campaign with the Lutheran Elementary School Association.
Obviously.
If you didn't know that when you saw it, I'm not sure how we missed creating that connection.
Can you imagine the White House being like, who was it, the one at Annie Fry Show? What do they have? YouTube. They tune in right now.
They tune in right now.
Guys,
you know
it's
what?
for school choice, okay? It's for school choice.
But you and I, we look like we could be people. Brad looks completely insane. And
He looks
so
like
did
a black
Ethan.
poodle with my sunglasses on.
I mean, he looks cool, but it looks fake. Well, yours does too.
What? You think you look so cool that nobody's gonna know?
Mine's the closest to being real. Although yours, Annie's is not too far behind. All right. Well, that is how you give. You text Annie26 to 41444. We are celebrating every gift that comes through this hour.
At 22% of our goal, so keep them coming.
Thank you very much. Lisa STL, that's LESASTL.org/Annie is another way that you can give. Or, of course, Annie26 to 41444 to donate. It is 2:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
I just Googled Deborah Harry. And as long as you guys are saying that I look like her in her prime and not as the
Well, I don't know what you're looking at, but yeah, I think
80-year-old, she still looks good for 80 though.
everybody's probably thinking Debbie Harry, 1978.
Oh, she was the lead singer of Blondie?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of remember that. I guess that's the Blondie wig.
I don't think she was wearing a wig, but she did have hair that looked kind of like that.
No, platinum blonde. I mean,
Yeah.
my hair is so gray that it's pretty much, I mean, people would probably look at it and think that it's blonde, but it's super gray. I want to give some shout outs here to folks who participated in a Facebook live stream I did on my personal page. I'm going to do one of these either tonight or tomorrow night on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. So you'll want to join us there and we can hang out a little bit from my house. Kelly commented a shout out to Trinity Lutheran in Edwardsville. I've mentioned them a couple times. That's where I went to school. That's my grade school that I graduated from in 1998. Carol and Paul wanted to shout out Holy Cross Lutheran School in Collinsville, Illinois. Jennifer Hallison wanted to shout out Metro East Lutheran High School, as well as St. Peter's in Prairie Town. Love that school. The Raiders, I believe, unless they changed their name. Let's go here to Sandy. Wanted to shout out St. Paul Lutheran School in Hamel. They do classical education there. It's a very, I keep saying that Lutheran education is, you go from one Lutheran school to the next, they're going to have different experiences at all of them. Hamel Lutheran School is thriving. It's really great to see, and they have a classical education approach. Those kids are like learning Latin or something amazing. Nancy, again, with Holy Cross Lutheran School, Metro East Lutheran High School. A shout out from Carrie for Good Shepherd Lutheran School in Collinsville, and Elizabeth to Zion Lutheran School in Bethalto. So a lot of people in my life who are on the Illinois side, but there are so many different Lutheran schools around the area, and you get incredible opportunities. My husband has talked before about, because my husband always went to public school, and having experienced raising our kids in the Lutheran school environment, there have been many times where it wasn't something, he wasn't brought up Lutheran, so it wasn't something that they were like thinking of. We talked to Fred Bodimer, who went to a Lutheran school, Holy Cross in downtown. For my husband, like just experiencing the different type of opportunity you get in a parochial Christian school, it's really an incredible experience for kids, because I think you get access to do so much more. And it's by no means a judgment on the public school system as it is. You just get access to do more things. Your kids don't go to a Lutheran school, but they do go to a parochial school. And the tight-knitness of a community like that, it's a really incredible environment for kids to thrive in, trying things, discovering things that they're good at, maybe discovering things that they're not so good at or they don't really like, but being able to have so much opportunity at your fingertips is really important when you're growing up.
And I'm not saying every school is perfect and does this, but because it's small, They seem to pull for each other because everybody kind of knows each other. And that happens at a greater degree at these private schools, Lutheran schools too.
I have a comment here from Nene. Says, our Savior Lutheran in Fenton, Missouri is amazing. So another shout out there. There's so many people who I meet out and about when we are doing different events or whatever. And there are just so many different connections through the Lutheran school environment. We want to make that possible for other kids, other families. So please consider supporting us. Annie26, text Annie26 to 41444. Spirit Week here. Gary said, I don't know what this means. I got to Google this too. Annie looks like one of the Campbell Soup kids.
I don't really know exactly what that means either, but it's funny sounding.
Campbell Soup
Campbell Soup kids. I don't know. Does that predate us?
Oh, knock it off, Gary. What the heck are you talking about? Just wait until you see this here, Ryan. The Campbell Soup kids?
Oh, they're like with the rosy cheeks and the fake. They're all excited about everything.
I've never been so hurt.
Okay. I mean, they're all cartoons, so I don't know that you can take too much offense by it.
Guys, what are we doing here? Is that what I look like to you? Gary, is that what you're implying?
That's what you and Ethan look like.
Yeah, maybe Ethan. Wigs are funny. I don't wig, like,
strong.
Wigs, like, do you put on it? Like, you are kind of digging the idea of having hair right now. It's
Well, I
not
just like the idea of hair.
It's not the number one look that I would choose for you, but your wig looks like you made a choice with your hair. It doesn't look like you made a choice with a wig.
No. Yours got there. When you first put it on, it did not look realistic.
I told you I was going to work on it. I said I was going to try to make this thing look good.
Yeah, you actually brushed it into existence, and I think you could pass. Do you think, honestly, if you went to a gas station right now or a restaurant, would somebody ask, or not even ask, would they think, I think she's wearing a wig? Do you think they would know or even think to ask?
Yes, I look like I'm wearing a wig.
I think so too.
But I think that maybe with a little work and effort that I've put into this, they would think that I was wearing it for fun. And I mean, I put on bright, hot pink, it looks red on the camera, lipstick and heavy eyeliner, and I colored in my eyebrows. So I just look like a cartoon right now.
I think if I walked into a gas station, the first thing they would ask me is, are you in Brooks and Dunn? I would say no, but I understand why you ask. I get it.
How you doing on with your wig over there, Brad?
The curls are falling more, so they're going farther and farther down my shoulders. The sunglasses are helping keep the curls out of my eyes because that was starting to hurt. I don't look anything like anything that I would naturally ever have as far as hair goes.
Don't go down on the street with that wig on. People start protesting you thinking you're Kristi Noem.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Kristi Noem with a beard.
Well, they know. Well, she's not in Minneapolis anymore.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a clean break from this
downtown.
point.
No, you can't
St.
find
Louis.
one.
USA Today reports many young Trump voters think women, quote, should follow men, according to a poll. A new survey found younger voters who support Donald Trump frequently embrace more socially conservative values, especially around gender roles, than their older MAGA and Republican voter counterparts. In a sprawling 170-page report that summarizes data from 6 national surveys over the past 9 months, staffers with nonpartisan research organization More in Common concluded Gen Z and millennial Trump voters have higher levels of support for hierarchical gender roles and want more religion in public life. The study also found that younger voters are more open to political violence than older voters, regardless of whether they support Trump. The survey, based on interviews with more than 18,000 Americans, found similar trends among younger non-Trump voters, though at much weaker levels. The study also identifies 4 types of Trump voters, each with distinct values and motivations: MAGA hardliners, anti-woke conservatives, mainline Republicans, and the reluctant right.
The reluctant right.
Yeah,
That's a new coalition.
There's got to be the people who can't stomach Biden. Like, they don't want socialism. They don't want, shuffling around the stage Joe Biden or absent-minded Kamala Harris.
I would think those people would fall into the category of non-woke Republicans, though, because it's the woke stuff that really puts so many people off.
No, it's not. that's a step. Being anti-woke, I know a lot of people who think that who the Democrat Party has put up are absolute loser candidates, like guaranteed loser candidates. They still have a heart and compassion. Like for the people who like woke things, they would never use the word woke because the right has won the woke word battle. Woke never means good.
Yeah.
Nobody who is saying that they are woke are going to explain it in the way by claiming to be woke anymore. But they still would support, if you're somebody on the left who doesn't want socialism, doesn't think that Kamala Harris is the answer to your problems, and probably Gavin Newsom either, they would say, what? Because I'm for gay rights, that means that I'm woke? And it's like, absolutely not. There are a whole host, a majority of people on the right who would support the common sense, more libertarian leaning values when it comes to government interference in our lives about sexual preferences and stuff like that. The left doesn't own being the pro-gay. That's at all anymore. That's over and done with. But I think there are a lot of people who would be kind of disgusted with what the Democrat Party is doing right now, who would still identify themselves as whatever the leftist word for woke is. I think they would say that they're kind. I think when people on the left hear people on the right define themselves as anti-woke, they just think that's hateful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because basically the woke ideal is like the overarching belief system is accept literally anything from anybody.
It used to be tolerated, and then that wasn't enough. Then you had to accept it, and then you had to signal your virtue at every single opportunity to come out and be out, aggressively out, with the affirmation of what you are not just tolerating, but what you were aggressively supporting.
Yeah. Yeah, the intersectionality thing. I mean, that's the whole goal of it. That the higher up on the victim ladder you are, the more to be celebrated you are. That's woke.
I even would challenge the USA Today's report on this, suggesting that having gender roles or socially conservative values is really like anti-woman, because I think a lot of women are pushing for some traditional values as well. And if that's what you want for you, you should that's like feminism, right? I get to choose what I want for me, like this sexy little blonde wig that I'm wearing right now. You should see the little blonde wig that Ryan's wearing right now.
It's sexy, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Another $100 donated by Laura Guevaro. Thank you, Laura, for showing up and supporting here. We have 52 supporters in, $3,389 raised so far. Let's keep going. We'll be right back. Annie26 to 41444 if you'd like to donate. Lisa, stl.org/Annie. We'll be right back. So I'm like doing these endorsements for my friends, Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair, but I'm doing it looking like a ridiculous fool. And I'm like, gosh, I don't know if Matt Hayes would like that. But I think Matt Hayes would like that because he's a funny, nice guy and he won't care. And he knows that his work stands on its own account. His ability to come help you solve your basement concerns, your foundation issues that you're dealing with. You don't know how bad it is, or maybe you're looking at a new home. Maybe you want to purchase a home and you've noticed something and you want to know, like, gosh, is this a problem? Will it need to be fixed if I make this purchase? What will it entail? I don't know what your personal circumstances are, but if you do have a concern with a foundation at your home, at your business, at church, wherever you are looking at that foundation going, gosh, I think I need to have this looked at. You want Matt Hayes. That's the type of guy you're looking for, and I've got him right here at Home Shield Foundation Repair. Call him at 314-271-9900. Call 314-271-9900 and reach out to Matt Hayes at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Man, they don't make country music like this anymore. I love it. This was a classic wild country song. I could do the dance in my head right now if I had the opportunity to. Fox Business reports McDonald's plans massive overhaul with major changes to restaurants and menus. Are you worried? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I think I'm titillated.
Ew. Do you do you frequent like how often do you God dang it. How often do you go to McDonald's in a week?
2?
What? Why is this so ridiculous? If you donate $1,500 right now, we'll just quit for the day. Just put us out of our misery. Annie26 at 41444. Anybody? How about you, Ryan? You make the donation so we can be done. McDonald's has kicked off 2026 with a shakeup plan to bring in nostalgia, technology, and boost customer loyalty. It's interesting to hear nostalgia and technology at the same time.
Ooh, they're bringing back old stuff?
And boost customer loyalty while adapting to changing customer habits while focusing on value, leadership, and consistency. According to the company, the key changes in the plan include new restaurant openings, menu updates, and expanded digital tools. Growth will also focus on high traffic and emerging markets while existing locations continue to be upgraded to meet new operational standards. Would you like to go back to like the old, you remember the swivel chairs at McDonald's?
I like that. I don't care about their digital technology in emerging markets. I want them to just open up Mac Tonight with the moon guy playing the piano again.
Do you use the app?
Yeah, I do.
So
the app sucks though.
Why?
Because it glitches so often.
Well, you go so often. Maybe it's a subtle way of being like, Ryan, you're going to need to slow
If you
down.
forget to turn it off after you use it, it sucks up all the energy in your phone.
To improve efficiency, the chain will be revamping about 27,000 drive-through locations, with more sites changing to multi-lane formats to cut wait times and speed up bigger order volumes. New guidelines for franchisees have been designed to reinforce accountability for delivering consistent value. This is the hugest fast food calamity from COVID. Do you remember when it was like you would drive through a restaurant if it was happened to be open, and they'd like throw the food at you and be like, deal with it.
Yeah.
And it never tasted
Take it
good.
in great.
Yeah. I mean, it was a miserable fast food was miserable for like 2-3 years after COVID.
Oh yeah, it's just come back. I'm to get rid of ba 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 and go back to food, folks, and fun.
Never heard of that.
Remember food, folks, and fun?
Nope.
Yep.
Folks?
Food, folks, and fun.
Stop saying the L so much in folks.
No, I will not.
Local differences in pricing are expected, the company said, with third-party advisors able to offer franchisees guidance designed to help account for those factors. The franchise model will remain in place, and individual owners will continue to set prices based on their local market conditions. McDonald's menu will see new drink options tested through its Cosmics concept and Cosmics-inspired beverages.
I like that they're doing the Cosmics thing. I want to see more of that. They kept saying they're teasing that they're going to do more Cosmics, MCs.
Yeah, what is that?
That's drink-focused McDonald's. It's like a coffee shop, but they have a lot more options. But they haven't rolled them out. I was titillated.
Ew, stop
I'm not
it.
now. I'm losing my buzz over here.
Everybody is less titillated every time you say that word.
I disagree.
Anonymous, $78 donation. Thank you. We are at 3,467, but you can keep donating through the rest of the week, 24 hours a day. We would love to have your support on the Annie Fry Show Lutheran School Scholarship Fund. Text Annie26 to 41444 and the YouTube live chat poll. Generally speaking, are you happy? Can you hurry with the results? You want me to do it, Ethan?
268 votes.
He's ready.
Generally speaking, are you happy? No one, not a soul, said no and liberal. 2% said yes and liberal.
There's always 3%.
7% said no and conservative, and 90% said yes and conservative.
Good. Stay happy, because there's so much more to life than politics. Like wigs. Wigs are fun. We'll be right back. Don't go away.